overtime.
Yeah.
All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in. For some, it is Friday Eve. For others, today is happiness. If you are out and about, you know something I've noticed.
What have you noticed?
First of all, it is Red Cup Day at Starbucks.
I know you.
Yeah.
Why the Starbucks today? Why do you switch it up?
No,
you too. All right.
Just very rare. I don't go to Starbucks very often.
No,
'cause
you
I
don't.
like to go local. But I collect the red cups. So it's Red Cup Day at Starbucks. And so I got up early and went to the Starbucks by
Me
my house.
too.
You
All
collect-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know-
collect the red cups.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where do you put them?
In the cabinet.
In
usually,
a cabinet?
After, yeah.
But they're like cardboard.
No, these are not.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Those aren't.
No.
Oh,
You're
I
not
didn't know that.
familiar with the red cup from
Not-
Starbucks?
No, not at all. If
No?
I'm being honest with you, I
It's good if
typically-
you make your coffee at home.
Well,
you need
I'm
another
going to be
cup.
honest with you. I really didn't start drinking grown-up coffee until like 3 years ago. Like
Mhm.
I was the whole
We've all
double
been there.
chocolate chip frappuccino like type guy. So everything I got was in the plastic, like in the clear plastic. So no, I have not.
60
I've
grams of
never.
sugar.
I don't think I've ever drank out of a red cup from Starbucks.
Yeah. So this is like just and I just started it because I live 2 minutes from a Starbucks. So I didn't know today, Jimmy. So I went there.
Mhm.
I thought, okay, I have a little bit of time. They were advertising it on the show that I was listening to this morning, and so I drove through. And you got to get a holiday drink.
Mhm.
So because I just wanted a coffee.
Right.
I just wanted.
I usually don't drink them.
I think
for
I
drink.
think when I go to Starbucks, I make barista's day because I am simple. I just like it black.
You make
Yeah.
coffee.
Okay. I don't want no cream. I don't want no sugar. I just want black. And
Sure.
they're like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you fine, sir?
Delicious.
Sir, do you realize where you're at? Yes. I just want a black coffee. Charge me $7 for my black coffee, and I will get it, and I will go, and I won't complain."
Mhm.
So I pull up today, and the Cheery at 5:45 at the Starbucks is like, and I say
That's
like just a
accurate.
venti because I got it down. I got no grande. I want the venti, a venti,
I'm proud of you that
Black-
you don't say large. I'm proud of you.
venti black coffee. And she goes, "Did you know?" And I already knew. She goes, "Did you know that it's Red Cup Day?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And then she goes, "Well, to get a red cup," and I was like, I'm already paying a lot for the cup of coffee.
Mhm.
She goes, "You need to get a holiday drink." And I'm like,
Fine. Throw some gingerbread crap in there.
and
And
it's
call
dark
it
out.
good.
I can't see the friggin' menu. I'm just ordering a coffee.
Sure.
So I go, "What do you recommend?" And she goes, "Caramel
Yeah.
something brew,
The
brew latte."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh wait, you got a caramel brulee latte?
"Yeah, it's sitting in my car."
Whoa.
I took a couple of sips of it.
Yeah.
Can
I just
That's
wanna
a
drink-
lot.
I'll drink it.
No,
A caramel brulee latte is what like I kind of get sometimes. Low
no,
key.
no. It was okay, but I wasn't in the mood for that. I got to be in the mood for those. So I said, "Okay, I'll take that." Oh, then I saw the price pop up on the screen. I'm
Oh, I
like,
know.
Whoa!
$5.50. Yeah.
I'm like, she goes, "What size?" So they had put in on the
Tiny.
screen the largest size, and then I said, "I'd like small." And so I watched the price go down like $1.20.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, we're good." So I pull up. She was very, very nice.
Mhm.
She hands me the thing, and she goes, "If you could just fill this out," and it's got how much you put on the tip there, and you do your card and thing. So yeah, I didn't know you needed to get a holiday drink. I just wanted a
knew
black
that.
coffee.
I got an email
thing,
yesterday.
$10
about it.
later, I got
Jeez.
my red cup, and I
So-
got 2 drinks.
So but that's the red cup right there.
No.
what?
They give you separate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
It's like
the
it's a
big-
reusable cup.
It's a reusable cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I
like the
mean,
other ones I bring sometimes. So
maybe
now I have
should go
another
to
one.
Starbucks today then.
Okay.
Get a
You
red
should,
cup.
but they might not have any more by 10 o'clock. That's
Is-
the
wait, wait,
advantage
wait.
of this
I am
shift.
so confused here. This is like so this is like one day, like
One
one
day.
day,
it's
a year.
Like,
they
a,
give
like
out-
for the Starbucks people that flash their gold card, and some still have a gold card in person, some have it on their phone.
Mhm.
Like this is a day where you go and get the red cup. I'm only went to get the red cup because I heard about it. And I'm like, okay, I haven't been to Starbucks like in ages.
Sure.
And $10 later, I got 2 drinks and my red cup for the 4th or 5th straight
You
year.
turned into Collinsworth there for a second. This is a day where you go to Starbucks and you get your
See,
red cup.
the catch is to knock down all the sugar in those drinks because there's a crap ton of it. It's not good for you. You get less of the pumps
Hey,
of
thank
stuff.
you, Dr. Oz.
Yeah,
But am I?
jeez.
Hey, we're trying to follow your lead. Well, at least I am. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little extra, some extra steps today
Yeah.
after drinking that thing.
After 3 sips of the caramel brulee
Woo!
latte.
Yeah, you got to knock that
I was,
sugar.
hey, 7 and 3 don't get you fully hussed. And drinking that thing will be like, whoop, whoop.
It's good. I think
It actually, it actually is
really
good. It seemed to be kind of addictive.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, God,
once-
big time.
Once it hits your lips,
Yeah.
you got to have more of it. You go back in and get more on your lips.
How much can you drink of it?
I'd like,
How wired are you going to be today?
no, I'm fine.
Off of a coffee and a half.
I had 2
I-
espressos added to mine. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
All right. So if you'd like to be like the cool kids,
You know what? I did go to the Goodwill and I bought
What?
some nice whiskey glasses. So I think I'm actually good on.
by the
I'm
way,
good on cups.
good coffee at the Goodwill in the Haymarket in Lincoln.
They have
Seriously.
coffee at the Goodwill.
Well, there's
In the
the mill is right next to it as well.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Where's the there's a
They have
Goodwill?
free coffee. Yeah.
There's a Goodwill in the Haymarket now.
Last time I
There's
was in the
everything in
Haymarket,
Haymarket.
there was.
Wow, I didn't know that. Good for them, Haymarket.
Didn't you live there?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
4
I was
for
like, you
3
can,
years.
you can.
Right next to the mill.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a Goodwill when I was there.
Maybe it's gone.
I've
Yeah,
been to
no.
that mill.
There was the
That's
little
sad for
upstairs
Lincoln.
thing.
A lot of,
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
things are leaving Lincoln, all coming to Omaha.
7 Brew, baby.
Yeah, what's the
Decem-
big deal with that? I heard y'all talking
December
about it
15th.
yesterday.
Hey,
You've told me about it. Odson was
they're
pumped.
gonna hook me up. I think I'm gonna be a spokesperson for 7 Brew.
Well, you've been talking about them for a year, as long as I've
Well,
been here.
okay, so I'm not like the closest is in Lincoln.
Right.
It is a big deal.
It
You-
is
it's
a
a very
big
big
deal
deal.
with the foofy drinks and the energy
Ah.
drinks and
There's one
the
out by me.
suburban the suburban moms and daughters.
Yes.
And they're perfectly placed where they are on 180th and Maple. They'll take care of the Elkhorn crowd and all that crowd out there in Northwest Omaha.
Painting a
But
picture.
if you ever go by one, and I found out on this recent road trip because I like to walk, and so I would walk to coffee shops.
Mhm.
That
That's
there
cool.
are fewer and fewer coffee shops that allow you to come inside and sit down. There are a lot more that are convenient that are just drive up or walk up.
Mhm.
And so when you walk up, it seems like the whole place goes nuts. They're like, "Oh my God, we got to walk up! We got to walk up! We got to walk up!"
Just
That's
want
what happened to
coffee.
me in Abilene last week.
Is that where they say? They
Well,
were
like
saying,
the
like,
late
Jimmy, we got a guy in person.
It
We haven't
said
had it
it
in
said
years."
Let me take a
it said
picture.
it said walk up window, and I walked up, and the lady was like, "I'm not robbing the place. Okay, I just want coffee.
I don't
Okay,
know, I
I
think
want
it'd
to. I'm going to be the simplest customer you've ever had today. I'm
Well, that's-
going to
okay.
be a black.
First off, wouldn't be a bad place to rob with.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm just saying how much money they're bringing in.
I don't have
okay?
time.
No,
I
don't do
You don't have
that.
time to rob
I don't
places.
have time to rob places. I don't really want to.
Is it too hard? Is it too difficult?
Just it's
It's-
complicated.
It's
Like-
not the morality of it
like,
doesn't really.
If I was going to be a criminal,
Sure.
I'd be a smart one. I would not leave. I would make it very difficult to find me. So I don't have time to think. I don't want to think that hard.
I think they all tried.
I'm way past those days of trying to rob a place.
Are you here to rob us? I just want a coffee.
When were the days when you were trying to rob a place?
I probably think if you're younger and you're down and out in your luck and you're maybe trying something and you got like that thrill.
Yeah.
Or you're just you're just an idiot.
sure.
Yeah, I don't really. I just want a cup of coffee. I'm not there to rob you. I just want a cup of coffee.
They're there to rob
But when you
you.
walk up, they don't know what to do.
Mhm.
It's a walk up window.
By the
People walk up. You know what? Not everybody has a car. Just like when you go to a drive-through. I learned this.
Oh,
I may
God.
have been inebriated. But you cannot walk through a drive-through at a McDonald's.
You can
you
at a
have to be-
Whataburger
Well,
in Waco.
we ain't got no Whataburger, Jimmy, in
I know.
Omaha.
I know.
All right, Mahomes, let's go. Raiola, let's go. But when you try and walk through a drive-through, they will not serve you.
So I was approached by
What if I was on a horse?
by a drunk fraternity kid with a backwards LeBron James jersey at the McDonald's drive-through, and he told me
Wow.
they won't let me walk through, bro. Can you go ahead and can you order me some McChickens? And I was like, okay. So I ordered him some McChickens. And
I would
he
have said
gave
no
me
just
10
on the
bucks.
LeBron.
I think you would be doing a disservice to 7 Brew if you went up there and you ordered a black coffee. And I think
Why?
you might be the only
Well,
black
do they
coffee.
sell black
yeah,
coffee?
they do.
That's-
So
That's their
I
thing.
don't
though,
think they do.
their thing though is that
Diabetes in
they-
a cup.
It kind of Like
Okay.
they like mix and match it, and they
Yeah.
make all these exotic, like different type of like holy crap.
I'm
this
more
iced
like Gary
coffee
now.
tastes-
It's-
Yeah, that's what they kind of
But
do.
but you drive like in Lincoln, they have 3 locations in
Yeah.
Lincoln. They have a location in my favorite Hardee's of all time, and then it became a Burger King, and then it was just a dump. They're on about 27th and O,
Oh,
about
You buy
25th,
mums?
25th and O. It's closer to 27th.
Okay.
But it's all 7 Brews are always busy.
Yeah,
It is
that's what you told
me.
always busy.
And they're always on Instagram. Like when they first came out,
Yeah.
they were always getting boasted about. Look at my 7 Brew. Look at my 7
Lots
Brew.
of
Look
Eric
at
says,
Lululemons.
Eric says there's one in Fremont. How does Fremont get a 7 Brew before Omaha?
Fred makes things happen.
Hey, what are we doing here?
Shout out Fred.
I'm trying to look now. If there's
Wow.
Yeah, there is one. There's
Gene
one
leaves
in Fremont.
town and Fremont gets everything. The mayor of Fremont gets to go and work in the Capitol for Pillin, and man, what's going on? But so it's Red Cup Day. But that's so as I was going to say this yesterday on the show, and then it was all about Northern Lights. Have you guys noticed this? And this is a happy Thursday. Every day is happy. There are more Christmas lights up earlier than
Yeah.
I think since COVID.
Yeah.
You know, when people put up their Christmas lights early during COVID
Yeah.
because you wanted joy and happiness and
They've
all
gone
of
in
that.
now. They've gone all in.
It looks like there are more. I was in a neighborhood last night
Mhm.
that is a very popular drive-through for holiday lights.
Okay.
And I noticed that there's businesses and there's houses that have their Christmas decorations up. I only saw one tree, like in a house, when I
Mhm.
was being creepy. But I don't know. I've
Could be the
seen-
nice weather.
I-
People are hanging them up this week.
Yeah, so I've seen more people are getting an earlier start on Christmas lights.
Well, I'll bring you.
It's not
your-
even what 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving.
I'll bring you some Midtown news because nobody goes to Midtown.
That's true.
They,
But boy, they still charge you to live there.
yeah, they have ribbons up already, like ribbons and
Yeah.
bells and like their Christmas stuff already up in Midtown. And so you're right. You're kind of spot on. People are trying to.
We
I
just
don't know
skipped
why we're
Thanksgiving.
trying to. Are we just excited? That excited for Christmas? Like, do we want? I mean, is this a year when we
never
need
am,
holiday
but-
cheer a little bit earlier than usual?
I don't know. I think people just enjoy Christmas. Once Halloween is over, they skip Thanksgiving and they go right to Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
I just
holiday.
just an observation. Maybe I could be off. I just there's like some significant businesses that already looks like they have the Christmas decorations, and I noticed a few homes
houses
already
down here.
have. They've replaced the Mr. Pumpkin in the front yard with a snowman.
Does every Midwestern like town in America have that one road that is just everybody just dresses up their Christmas lights incredibly well, and you just want to drive through those couple blocks to see all the Christmas lights? Is that because you just mentioned
is
you have
deep.
one here in
I'm
Omaha? I have one in Skokie, Illinois.
Yeah.
There was one in Sauga. Did you have one in Urbandale? Did you
Yes,
have one in
so we
San
did.
Antonio?
I have a river that the trees are all lit up.
Okay.
It's really just a
Hmm.
creek and a drainage deal. But anyway,
I just wondered, do they have that? Like, is that a West Coast thing as well? Is that an East Coast thing as well? Or is
I
that
think
like a-
Christmas lights are happy.
Hmm.
I think there should be a lot of Christmas lights. I applaud the. I'm not going to call them grifters. I'm going to call them
Okay.
entrepreneurs
okay.
that will come and put up your Christmas lights.
Oh yeah,
What do you mean
entrepreneurs.
grifters?
So it is a. That's the part of holiday season is putting
Okay.
up your own damn tree and your own lights. Just make
Well-
sure you got your insurance paid up and you're good in case you fall off the ladder. But here in Omaha, there and I probably will hear from him because I called him a grifter. I did not call him a grifter.
Is he your friend?
So yes, he mows lawns, he shovels snow, and like 2 or 3 years ago, they added putting up Christmas decorations.
That's a
Yeah,
grinder.
So he bought
Thank you,
bought
Jimmy.
like just hordes of Christmas decorations, and he offers plans that you can buy, and then they will come and then they will decorate the outside of your house.
Oh,
They don't do
respect.
the inside; they do the outside of your house.
Yeah.
And so he's been doing that for a couple of years.
That's-
I said, really? I said, everybody's chasing the bag, and that's perfectly fine. He said it's becoming like a very competitive business in Omaha. Not very big yet.
There's a ton of signs out by me.
There are people that they will come and then
Yeah.
they will decorate. He doesn't do the inside of your house. I don't know if you want that, but he will do the outside of your house. And he said, yeah, it's starting to become a competitive
Mhm.
business.
First off, that is a very entrepreneurial
Yeah,
to have
that dude's
own-
grinding.
to have own plans too, and to buy your own. Now, to buy his own decorations
Might have
and
been
keep
that
his
might have
own.
been to pay the divorce lawyer, but I mean, what the hell?
Okay, you don't have to put all his business out in the open.
I haven't said his name yet,
Well, people,
but he
could
does
probably,
have a good looking website, and you'll see his mowing truck driving around town.
You could probably put two and two together and be like, oh, I know Joe who puts up my Christmas lights, who also has a lawn mowing business. I didn't know that he was going through a divorce.
If anything,
All
that
right.
makes me want to tip
No,
a
it's
little
not-
more.
He's
to
past the divorce. It lingered for like 4 years. It was nasty,
to have own plans though.
but he
too.
got the kids.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to put that out there, Gary. All right.
Hey, shout
You-
out to
first
him. He
off,
got the
you already
kids.
insulted the man and called him a grifter when he obviously is actually a very smart human who to make your own plans and to get
Yeah.
like, hey, you could get the. Does he call it like tinsel? You could get the tinsel plan, or maybe does he do it like the
Or you could go with the
silver
Garland
gold?
package.
What were the
Oh.
three? What were the three?
Silver
gifts?
and gold package.
I
The
don't know.
silver
They've got-
package, and then myrrh, right? Silver.
He's got
gold, and
he's got
myrrh.
a warehouse.
Yeah, you can get Jan. You can get the silver package, and we'll decorate the front of the
You
house.
can get the
But if you
Rudolph,
the
but
gold-
upgrade to the Blitzen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get the gold package. We'll do the entirety of the
know.
house.
I
And
have
if you
to-
get the myrrh package, then we'll put a big old Santa on your roof.
Yeah, I have to go and look and see what the offerings are.
So we did that. My
Like
family.
you paid somebody.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
That's not what Clark Griswold did, but
my
lived in your neck of
my
the woods?
dad did that where he was like he went online and he looked up like Christmas tree like light
it's
hanging up.
required in a
businesses.
gated community.
Mhm.
We're not in a gated community, but he looked it up, and then my mom goes, no, yeah, we'll just call Avalia. So she just called, some of her, she's Latin, so she grew up. She called some of her like, very very good friends, and they put it up for like half the price. It's
case
like,
of
you just
beer
gotta-
and a meal.
They're just like, you just got to go to Home Depot and buy the lights, and we'll
Mm.
put it up, and they put it up for us.
All right, coming up on the show, Steve Sipple. You ever seen Sip's house in Lincoln?
No,
When he, yeah,
Looks like a casino.
no.
No.
Sip's
got
got a
pillars?
Sip's got a nice Lincoln home. I think he's into Christmas decorations. He'll join us coming up at 9:15. Brian Edwards lives in a place where they have boat parades
Yeah.
down there in Destin. He'll
I do.
join us at 9:45. That's the lineup brought to you by the rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard, who agrees with me that Gonzaga is really, really good. He saw them play in person when they played Oklahoma over the weekend
Mhm.
and watched the game last night. And Higgy told me yesterday, he said, Gonzaga is really, really good. So that's the lineup for you. Do you think today in Lincoln, our good friend, I love him. He is such a good person that I am so glad this many, 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 many years later that I despised doing Nebraska women's basketball at the time, that I didn't want to do it full time, and we had to go find a play-by-play guy.
And you did that.
why didn't you want to do Nebraska women's basketball?
It wasn't for me.
What
They were very nice. Angela Beck was the head coach at the time, and then I wasn't doing the games when Paul Sandifer was the head coach. I was just doing his coach's show. They were very nice to me,
Yeah,
but it just at that age, it wasn't. I
smell
thought,
what you're thinking.
yeah.
Like,
I'm shocked that they.
Plus, I
offered
was
you-
I was busy doing other things.
I'm shocked that they offered you the job after you guessed their weights on air.
it was
I
a
didn't-
different time.
It was a different time,
Everybody.
and it was
gets
only one game,
Mhm.
but they enjoyed me that season.
Did they?
I was funny. I was fat and funny, and they were like,
That's important for
that-
the broadcast. Make them
that
laugh.
there were a couple of people because we shared the women's play-by-play.
Yeah.
We're like, let's focus on football. So Matt Coatney arrived, and do you think
The rest was
that
history.
the great Matt Coatney is one of the nicest guys in the world?
He's
He's
awesome.
got a fantastic family.
You
His
betcha.
son, I think is still in charge of the Bennington band. But the only thing I hold against the Coatneys is they're Cardinal fans.
Oh, that's
But
right. Yes.
Other than that, do
Yeah.
you think that Matt Coatney today, because he works for the state of Nebraska,
Mhm.
not that I'm opposed, he does a really good job of where he works at. Do you think he is walking because he's an early coffee guy,
Mm-hmm.
and Matt is very recognizable. He's also got a voice that is very recognizable. Do you think that when he walks into his office today, as he walks in and he walks down the hallway to his cubicle,
With his
he's just
red
looking at
cup.
everybody going, "You betcha, you betcha, you betcha," which he had maybe the longest extended, excuse me, "You betcha," which is his famous call.
Yeah.
Him and Jeff Greesh, great crew.
Mhm.
Fantastic doing
Shout out,
Nebraska
Jeff.
women's
Good
basketball.
man.
They're well over 1,000 games together. They are actually married. But do you think he walks down the hall and he goes with the Jessica Petrie extended you betcha after she hit the 60-footer last night.
Probably.
You've heard the highlight.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, Coatney was in his bag last night, and so was Nebraska women's basketball as they throttled Creighton to finally win. Jim Flannery has owned
Yes.
Nebraska. They've won 8 of their last 9, including 3 in a row, and not all of them have been pretty. But Nebraska last night, 84-50 in Lincoln, as Amy Williams may have had one of her better days as the head women's basketball coach at the University of Nebraska. But I hope everybody that sees Coatney today, I hope you get a you betcha, because he was having fun last night.
He's handing them out like Oprah Winfrey. Everybody gets a car. Everybody gets a you betcha. That was I tuned in for a little bit of the game, and it was already a blowout. So that was awesome to see. And you're right. Amy Williams, what a recruiting class that she brought in as well. I mean, she got a 5-star and 2 4-stars, 3 top 100 prospects. Like, or I think the last one might be right outside the top 100.
No,
but
3 in the top
Are they
100,
3 in the top
including
100?
Kopal from South Dakota, who is 22nd in the country. Yeah, that's why it's so, I mean, this is, people are wondering about Amy Williams, and don't overlook, she's turned into a really good recruiter, her and her staff.
Yeah.
You get Britt Prince to come to Nebraska and not go out of state or go to Creighton. And you can see that, I mean, Britt's now, she's a little bit stronger. She's starting to take off. She had 18 last night in that win. But it's always like, okay, can Nebraska women's basketball get to the second weekend?
Sure.
Because the best women's basketball program in the state has been Creighton. I mean, what Jim Flannery has done, and it's shocking. 2 straight games, 2 straight days. This shows you how high Mac and Flan have their programs, is when you see them do certain things, you're startled. Like last night, I had never seen a Creighton women's team perform like that, where they got unraveled. They turned the ball over. They got frustrated. The game got really, really chippy in the second half. There were 46 fouls called in the game.
Jeez.
So when that happens, more so Creighton's women than the men the night before, you're like, whoa. But it's a transition for the great run that they've recently had, and those players moving on after being here for 15 years. But you think, okay, and there's great support for women's basketball. I mean, they got some of the loyalist fans, and they tease you. There are years where they'll make a run and they look really good, and then they get the NCAA tournament and they win one game, but they fumble in the second game. Can she get to the second weekend?
Yeah.
But her day yesterday was really, really good. That recruiting class, and then you beat your rival by 34 in the way that they did it with a suffocating half-court defense. And then some of your recruiting wins in that game show up, like Britt.
Well, also Jess Petrie too. Like Jessica Petrie is a part of the God, I'm blanking, Australia pipeline, right? Which I think which has been a pillar of that program, which has been incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
And Jazz Shelley is actually balling right now in Australia. And
I have not been keeping up with Australian women's professional basketball, so thank you.
I follow Jazz Shelley on
Instagram.
Yeah, so she posts a lot of her highlights and whatnot on Instagram. So she's killing it in that league. But no, I mean, like Jess P, the fact that you Britt Prince, you had to win that recruiting battle, right, to go and get her, and that was it wasn't easy for them to go out and do that. It's big, and then you go ahead and like Jess Petrie, you got her from Australia, and you created that pipeline, right, for the last couple of years, and then on top of the job that she's done from the recruiting cycle in this cycle, it's been impressive. And 29% from the field is what Creighton shot. Like, I don't know, that Creighton game has always been, as long as I had been at Nebraska, like an incredibly tough one, and one that
usually they've gotten steamrolled.
Yeah, and one that they take that game very personally, right? Like, and I was lucky enough to know like some of the student workers who were on like the women's basketball team, and they like every time it wasn't just Creighton Day, it was like Creighton Week. It was like we got Creighton this week, and so for them to pull out that win, I know that it means a ton to them in that program. So it's a big one.
I mean, it's a transition. There was the Chuck Love thing for a while.
Yeah.
And now they're distancing themselves from that longer and longer, which is just kind of gone away. Thought we were going to trial. We're going to have lawsuits. Trev was going to get sued, whatever was going on there. But they've gotten further and further away from it. And when you start stacking recruiting classes and you have a day like yesterday, and then you go out and you beat your rival by 34, I think that was a pretty good day for Amy Williams. So Nebraska, ironically, it's the largest margin of victory in that series since 2005.
Okay.
Do you know what the score was in 2005?
No.
84-50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. You have the lineup for the show. Lots to discuss. It is bye week for Nebraska football. Emmett Johnson was having a party in downtown Lincoln last night, meeting and greeting. Man, good dude.
He's a superstar.
Good dude. What if they honor him on Senior Day?
Oh,
For everybody to say, thank you, Emmett. No, maybe not.
probably not.
All right.
See, he's not a senior.
No.
You can't honor non-seniors on
Hey,
Senior Day.
Senior Day, though.
But also,
Senior
too,
Day has
though,
kind of changed. Like, there's some guys now that have like multiple senior days.
So that's a problem as well. Like you can't, you can't honor a junior on Senior Day, but you also can't have 3 senior days. That's ridiculous.
But we'll have I thought about something about Emmett and his journey to Nebraska. Now his journey almost coming to an end, if that's what he chooses here in the year of our Lord 2025. So we'll get into that and much more. And John Elway, step aside.
Whoa.
John Elway, step aside. Time to give up the steakhouse, give up the dealership. They're on Colorado Boulevard.
What do you?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
I thought you were talking about. I thought it was going to be a Luca lead-in to like bad trades.
No. There were some
I know what you're getting at.
mind-numbing performances last night in the game of college basketball that we will discuss as we roll till 10. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Red Cup Day. You can use it for multiple things. Can't believe you thought that was the Red Cup.
It's a red cup you're drinking.
It's the
out of.
normal Starbucks.
Reusable
cup.
Usable cardboard cup.
I don't think I've had a Starbucks coffee. God knows, in a year.
Okay.
I think the only Starbucks that I typically, I would say, if they ask me where's your local Starbucks, I would say the Target.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I think that's a popular one too.
Yeah, there are people popping in and out.
Yeah, that was a smart move. People go shopping. They even give you the little cup holder now that you can put on your cart.
I only ever had Pizza Hut at Target, so I think that's an even smarter move.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I never in my life thought.
Thank
to ever
goodness
get
you moved
Pizza
to
Hut
Omaha. We
until
have great
I would
options.
go to Target and they would have like the hot Pizza Hut stuff, and I'd be like, oh my god, I want breadsticks, ma.
All right, it's Gary and Matt with Jimmy at 1620 The Zone. the placement of the microphone
Yeah.
compared to the computer here is a little bit.
I learned how to use the controls on the computer because you have to learn how to exit out of everything and stuff like that. Because no, it's not touchscreen.
Should be touchscreen.
Don't break more things in here.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh,
Look at you.
I haven't broken anything. I'm not saying that you have broken things. I'm saying that just, you just have, we don't want more things broken.
Okay. Bruin Steve tweets at the show, where you can tweet at the show at Gary Sharp 1620, at Matt McMedia, or the show at Gary and Matt. Diehard Bruin fan, playing extremely well. Oh, by the way, how'd you enjoy a local 8:53 face-off last night in Chicago for the Blackhawks and the Devils, and then the game goes to overtime?
I loved it, minus the ending of the game. Spencer Knight was absolutely
You
incredible.
got a fourth liner who had a nice little toe drag going.
Yeah, a little
Lafferty.
Tony, a little backhandy, a little sloppy, up in the top shelf, baby. It was Lafferty, man. And then I saw Foligno then celebrate with him, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think Nick Foligno's been out there to celebrate a goal in God knows how long. That fourth line is not good. But they played really well. New Jersey's really good, though. New Jersey's really good.
Yeah. And to get the game winner in overtime by Nemec, and it completes your hat trick. That's a nice little night. It's a little nice night at the office.
Yeah.
The old Devils.
Yeah.
But we didn't mention this the other day. Pasta now with over 400 goals for the Bruins. Steve he said, I had permanent lights put up on my house a few years back, so I don't need to worry about putting up lights. Some of the best money we spent to avoid the hassle or joy, depending on how you look at it.
You just turn them off for the entire of the year, and then you flip a switch, and it's Christmas time.
I don't know. Would you be opposed if you lived next to somebody and they had Christmas lights up year round?
Yes, I would be very much
Bring happiness, joy to the neighborhood.
Yeah. First off, it'd be weird. Okay, it would just be weird if you had Christmas lights on for 12 months a year. That'd be crazy.
Would you call the homeowners association, or would you call the cops, or what would you do?
I would probably.
Or would you just be like, okay,
I don't know.
I get it.
I have you ever been on the part of TikTok or Instagram where it's like HOA hell, where it's like no. there's like an algorithm where it's just a bunch of people complaining about their HOAs and all the crazy things that they do. So I don't know if I would.
Man, you have a different For You page than I do.
Dude, it's I have a weird algorithm. I really do. Okay, my algorithm goes from cooking videos to movies to then. Are you on fake fight fake argument TikTok too?
No.
Have you ever seen those videos where these people make up fake scenarios of like fights that like happen at a bar or like fights that happen?
I don't get those. No.
At like Home Depot, they're like, can I talk to a manager or whatever? Dude, it's weird. It's weird what I get roped into. But anyway, I don't think I would call my HOA. I would probably just knock on their door and be like, you're a weirdo. And, it's hard for me to go to bed at night when your lights are creeping into my house because you have Christmas lights on 100% of the year. How about you turn those suckers off and save yourself some money on your electricity bill?
Steve is right. The weather, because the weather is nice right now, and it's going to be 76 on Friday, which is tomorrow. 76. People are putting up their lights. So that's Christmas. Like, do you ever look at Christmas lights and go, oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm not.
Quit being happy.
I'm not. Well, have you ever met anybody that you're like, you're a little bit too happy?
Yes.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I usually get this face.
I knew I wasn't going to get it.
Good morning.
From him.
What's good about
I was
it?
going to get it from you.
Are you staring at each other? That's very, very awkward.
No,
okay.
we are in agreement. You've never met anybody where like you're a little bit too holiday and cheer.
Yeah, the barista at Starbucks on 72nd this morning. She's like very, very happy for 5:45, which is, I think that's part of the job.
Yeah, I think
She's trying to get that extra tip.
Many days.
But you know what?
my
People
RBF
pull up and they're like, I just need to wake up and need some coffee, or they're having they're going to have a bad day, and she's there to cheer you. I could do that for an hour.
You do that for a living
I
already.
go across the street. The Scooters is across the street from my house. I can just go in there and hang out with I've never seen a male working at that Scooters, by the way.
Yes, that's true. I know the Scooters you're talking about. I don't think they hire them.
Never ever seen a male working there.
I do think we do guys in the coffee industry a little bit dirty because we have the barista, and that is kind of a
Bo or bro,
kind of female like centric, like barista, right? And then we just call people male baristas, right? We need to come up with
Brorista.
Brorista.
You could have a business plan.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that. We got
Bros Coffee.
Well,
7 bro.
I'm
Seven, bro.
I'm about to ruin everybody's
I think
happiness here.
that's something different. Don't look that up.
Probably would be.
Eric has a great description of the 7 brew. The mom's wearing Prada and the freshman's driving Mercedes.
Yeah.
Their Lululemon bag.
Hey, smart business, man. I know where they're at. There's one in Waukee in suburban Des Moines, like perfectly placed. People that are running that company know what the hell they're
The
doing.
one that's
Hey,
going up.
It's
yeah.
always location, location, location.
I'm gonna look up a 7 brew in Illinois. It's gonna be in Winnetka.
It's going to be next to your house.
No, it won't.
Inside.
It wasn't a gated
US
community,
Cellular
but
Field.
I didn't grow up next to Derrick Rose. Like we were.
He was across the street.
No, he wasn't. I didn't grow up in Englewood.
So next week, Nebraska goes to Penn State. What if it's a night game, boys?
Be
I would
cold.
love that. Well, if it was a night game and then I was playing an early game and then you'd have the short week already, that would be a hunk of crap.
If it was a night game, would it just solidify that the Big Ten hates Nebraska?
I would say so.
More than likely.
And
And,
then-
Matt.
And then they'll double down, and Emmett Johnson will not be all Big Ten running back, and then you'll really think that the Big Ten has something out for Nebraska. But I am so now that we're not really paying attention to who Penn State is chasing as a head coach, unless you're a message board genius. How come it's gotten really quiet about Mike Elko? That was my guy right away,
Yeah.
Mike Elko.
It's gotten
It's
quiet
really-
about everybody, if we're being honest.
Eli Drinkwitz yesterday was the coach of the day, according
Yeah.
to message board geniuses, that he's told his team, which, you know what? I think I would do that with a couple more games left in my year. I would tell my team that I'm leaving.
Makes
Let's
no
go out
sense.
there, boys, and let's play. I just don't. This Mike Elko to Penn State seems like it's gotten really, really quiet. Wonder what's going on. But speaking of the Penn State game, there is a look-ahead line that just got released by DraftKings for that game next week. Would you like to guess the Nebraska-Penn State line, according to DraftKings, released this morning?
Penn State -1.5.
Ooh. You have the right team.
Okay.
You have the wrong spread.
3.5?
7.5.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Now that will be adjusted quickly, but that's what popped up today.
No, I would hammer Nebraska.
To Penn State, 7.5.
7.5.
It
no
hasn't
way.
been released, but it's
Right.
on their look ahead page of where it's at,
Yeah,
which
no.
which it looks like a line that was set during the summer. I think it was I
Okay.
think it might have been 15 or 16. So it has gone down. And when it is publicly released, I'm sure that it will be closer to what your number is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't
If,
that
if it's not, you'd be like, okay, are we going to make a lot of money or are we getting trapped?
I was thinking about this. I don't know if that's too big to be a trap. Honestly, that's too once you get into just value betting where it's just like it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. It's just like you just have to take this value. I was thinking the other day, it was so funny how we looked at this Penn State game in the preseason as almost as if we kind of skated over it and we never really talked about it. And it was just like
Well, because it
when-
was one of your losses. There were not a
yeah,
lot of people that were chalking this up to a win.
but-
And I actually believe there's still quite a few people that are not chalking it up as a win, even though Penn State's season has, 0-6, 3-6 overall.
but I
Because in the summer, did anybody call
no.
into the show, email, tweet, or us on the air say, I think Nebraska's going to beat Penn State. Maybe
No.
one or two out there, and if you are, good on you because you might get validated next Saturday. But yeah, this was one of those win, loss, loss. But
Yeah.
they'll bounce back and they'll beat Iowa.
Well, it was always also too every game on the schedule. I feel like we potentially discussed could be a win, and this one was just never even discussed. And now we're sitting here, and it's like I'm shocked that Nebraska's a 7.5. Well, could be
Yeah.
a 7.5 point.
You're right.
underdog.
It was in summertime sports talk radio in GBR Nation. It was the game that Nebraska was going to get.
Yeah. Well, it also too we had the discussion of if Nebraska were to make the college football playoff, it
Yeah.
was you got to make sure that game is close. You cannot you cannot get blown up at Penn State if you're going to make the college football. You got to make that a 7-point game or a competitive game until the fourth quarter. And now it has turned into if you don't beat a potentially 3-win Penn State team on the road, it's like that's embarrassing. How do you not pick up that win?
So
Which is
they've-
just wild.
So they have So USC Oregon is next week as well. And so if USC beats Iowa, we get a classic Pac-12 game. So maybe determine a playoff team. USC is a look-ahead line on DraftKings as a 7-point dog in that game. Yeah, Nebraska is a 7.5-point underdog on the look-ahead line on DraftKings.
God, you got it. So if you're the Big Ten, you're definitely rooting for USC for this week, right?
Yes, to beat Iowa.
Because the winner of the USC Oregon game, I mean, Oregon, the fact that they're only 8th. Well, the fact that Oregon's 8th is fine. The fact that Texas is only 2 spots behind them is absolutely embarrassing. But if USC loses to Iowa and then USC somehow beats Oregon,
then Oregon is out.
you have 2 Big Ten
Oregon,
teams
that'd be
in the
2
playoff.
home losses for Oregon.
That'd be tragic for the Big Ten. That would be awful for the Big Ten. And then SEC probably gets 6 teams in if that happens.
Well, wait a minute. So for the Big Ten, and it would be very, very odd to not have at least 4 teams, but there may not be 4 worthy teams. Would you take quality over quantity because the top 2 are from the Big Ten?
Honestly, I know we've had discussion about the 4 teams being in the college football playoff. I really don't think that if your number 1 and the number 2 teams in the country are in the Big Ten, I don't think it really matters if you get 4 teams in. Like, I think it's just like, hey, we clearly, like, yeah, maybe our middle isn't as meaty as the SEC, and maybe the Michigans and the USCs aren't as good as your Texases or Oklahomas or whatever. But we have the 2 best teams. That should be enough to establish, hey, we're still one of the best conferences.
And
now, if you only get
unfortunately-
2 in, that's bad.
And unfortunately, see, this is kind of become a debate now that we have home games. Is would you rather have a bye or a home game? I would rather have a home game. The uniqueness of having a game at home and the fact that you don't have to sit around for 3.5 weeks. And we'll see if the teams that have byes lose again this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to play a home game, and I would like to keep my season going in like a stay on schedule instead of taking all that time off and play a team that would be coming off a 2-week break.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather have a home game than a bye. That's why I think whatever they figure out with the playoff, and it looks like they're going to stay at 12 at least momentarily, is let's don't get to neutral sites until the Final Four.
I couldn't agree.
Let's play the last 3 games of the college football season at neutral sites, because if I'm Ohio State or Indiana, okay, I've had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to ship me somewhere else instead of letting me play a home game?
Yeah.
I'm playing to get that advantage, even if I am in Bloomington, Indiana or Columbus, Ohio, where it could be -5 degrees when we play. You know what? We deserve that. We went out and got that instead of being shipped to a place that's nice and sunny and a neutral site, which kind of evens the playing field. So I would take a home game over a bye, and I would love to see, and maybe it happens when they do expand, that 1 through 8, and there are no byes, everybody plays, if you get to 16, is 1 through 8, everybody gets a home playoff game.
I think those neutral sites used to matter when bowls used to matter. Like, I think those neutral sites used to be cool when it's like, hey, this is our last game of the season. We're going to travel out to Arlington. We're going to travel out to Georgia. We're going to travel out to here, and it's going to be a big deal. And hey, we're going to be able to say we're Cotton Bowl champions. Now those bowls are just names.
Well, and part of what you're saying is you also don't treat them like a normal bowl.
No.
Like, you show up on a Friday. Well, okay. So you show up like on a Thursday and play on Saturday. So you kind of treat it like a normal road game, unfortunately.
When
that's what they did with the Rose Bowl. Like, didn't Ohio State and Oregon, like, usually you play in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
You go out there for a week, you eat the
beef bowl.
Yeah, you do the beef bowl, you go to Disneyland. Weren't both those teams out there just like 2.5 days, 3 days beforehand?
We had this discussion last year where it's like I think it was only like 3 days that they were out there. Now, also too, okay, so when you had the BCS, or when you had the
it's about the BCS.
When you had the BCS and you won a Rose Bowl, right? You got to say, "Hey, I'm a Rose Bowl champion." When you won an Orange Bowl, you're like, "Hey, we won the Orange Bowl." If you win the Orange Bowl, but then you lose in the Final Four, or you lose in the national championship game, you're not really saying, "Hey, we won the Orange Bowl." You know, you're more so saying, "Hey, we didn't win the national championship. We got
just take a dig at Notre Dame."
No, I didn't take a dig at ND, but I'm just stating the fact. Like, when there wasn't this playoff, it used to be like, man, we're Cotton Bowl champions. Now you win the Cotton Bowl, but then you lose the next game. Nobody gives a damn that you were the Cotton Bowl champions. They really don't. You get, what do you say? You go, yeah, we won a playoff game, but we fell short. So I agree with you in that regard. Not that the Bulls don't matter, the neutral sites don't matter, and if the neutral sites don't matter, just play them at home, and it'll be and you're actually restoring like some uniqueness and tradition of college football about like making it about the home venues and making it about the fans.
All right, Steve Sipple. I'm sure that Sip would probably like to go to. Let's see, he's already been to
Tampa.
Vegas.
Tampa
Would be a good. Tampa is a slower Florida. I think he could handle Tampa a lot better than Miami.
Margaritas in Tampa, how are they? I don't know. You've been in Florida way
Like
more than I have.
margaritas everywhere else.
I don't think of margaritas in Tampa immediately,
But
I'm
like,
sure they're good.
No, I'm asking. Like, are
How's
they
the
good
beer in Tampa? Is it as good as it?
I'm just asking. I mean, sip some margarita.
Tampa's a nice area. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. It's a nice. I like the area.
Warm.
It's much different from the south part of the state, but I mean, it would be Florida. People would go, or would they go to Nashville?
I would much rather go to Florida.
Steve Sipple and Morgan Wallen, or Sip hanging out at Morgan Wallen's bar, taking a picture of the same spot where Morgan Wallen threw the chair, or what? Yeah, what is it? No, it was Eric Church's bar, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Eric Church or
stool
Morgan
or
Wallen's bar, or was it Jason?
I think it was Aldean's bar. Everything
Jason
bad
yeah.
happens at Aldean's bar.
Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean's got a really nice place on the Strip in Vegas.
Aldean's got a place in Scottsdale that I went to that was great.
All right. First hour in the books. Second hour coming up. We'll get into some Nebraska football discussion on a bye week, but it never ends. Plus, today is a big day actually in Vegas. MLB Award Show, which will not include the announcement of the MVPs in the AL or the NL.
How does that make it?
Welcome to Major League Baseball and the promotional opportunities. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. All right, so yesterday was National Letter of Intent signing day for basketball, other sports, golf. This is when you really like. There are certain benchmarks of, man, I'm getting old. When Caleb Benning is playing at Nebraska, or
Sure.
now I'm calling a game and Micah Benning is a sophomore at Westside and he is playing, and I'm like, these two little guys, when I first started here at 1620, would sleep on the couch outside the door of our studio while Dad was on the air with me before X came and picked them up or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're playing college football or high school football and you watch them grow up, you're like, man, I'm getting old. Had another one of those yesterday.
Okay. With who? With whom?
Darren Erstad's son.
Oh my God.
So Zach, who played hockey like Dad
Mm-hmm.
and then played baseball, but he's a really good golfer. So he signed to go play golf at North Alabama.
Oh wow.
I'm like, wow. I kind of remember Zach when he was a little guy.
Yeah.
Now that little guy is going to play college golf. All right.
That's crazy.
All right.
And you were with were you really close with the team when Erskad was playing, right? Weren't you the
I was on the back end his last year.
okay?
So I'm one of the rare people that can say, yes, I saw Darren Erstad play at Buck Belcher Field.
Oh, that's sick. That's
Well,
really
people.
cool.
People years later go, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, I remember. I remember Chief, man. He was. Gosh, you should have seen that swing. And then I go, what number do you wear? They go, oh,
Well, that's a
yeah.
tough one. Like I'm a
I was wear the same number.
I'm a diehard fan though of some teams, and like I have a tough time of remembering who wore what number. But I love how that you're treating Darren Erstad's like playing at Buck Belcher Field like stolen valor. You're like, what are you doing this game? Yeah, you're in that unit. You're in that unit. What did
Hey,
you do here? Oh, you know this guy.
Because back then there were only like 25 people that watched Nebraska baseball. It was me and the Shirley brothers, and a couple other people. Chris Anderson.
They had a good crew.
Yeah, those are some rough times. Like there's a guy, there's certain athletes that you wish you would have watched them more or appreciated them more when they were here.
Yeah.
Like I would have really enjoyed watching the 83 Nebraska team. I wasn't following Nebraska
Sure.
football. I really didn't, other than they would show up in the Des Moines Register because, they had a Nebraska fan base in Des Moines. Wouldn't pay a ton of attention to Nebraska
Yeah.
football at that age. I was more into Hawkeye football. Chuck Long was my jam. Like I would have loved to see Rozier like in person. But
Sure.
Darren Erstad is one of those guys, and even maybe not so Alex Gordon, because Nebraska, the attention towards Nebraska baseball had picked up by then, and they were in Haymarket and
Mhm.
large crowds. But man, Erstad's career here, as good as it was, and they never won. They never made the
Yeah.
NCAA tournament. He didn't play before anybody. He played in a dump.
Yeah.
And he played, all he had to do was play one game for Nebraska football, and he played in front of more people than he ever played in front of in 3 years of playing Nebraska baseball.
That's wild.
But now his son's going to play golf at North Alabama. Jeez.
That's funny.
Everybody stop growing up or stop having kids.
That well,
Well, you do the same thing. Like,
actually,
you
we
go,
need to start
"Hey."
having a little bit like the population rate is kind of going down. We actually need to start having more kids, Gary, because we're going to get to the point where the old outrank the young, and that actually is really bad for society, and it's actually incredibly difficult to deal with. And then the young people. I learned this all in sociology. Then the young people, they're spending too much time taking care of the old people, and then they're not taking care of themselves, and then you kind of have a collapse of the integrity of society. So we actually have to have more people so we can have more young people take care of the old people.
Ed says, how did he goes, I think I know what you're talking about. How do you feel when you go and do an Elkhorn South football game and Chad Severs has a son that's playing that is a freshman on the varsity? Yes. Okay. So it's like I'm old. I like all these people that I covered like when they were kind of my age.
Yeah.
Now have grown up and they're having kids and their kids are playing sports and I'm announcing them and going, man, Hoskinson, there's another Hoskinson out on the field. I mean, I'm like, geez, Father Time, stop.
I know where you're getting at, but I want to do a quick segue here because you're talking about Darren Erstad and like how great he was, but like it was tough to appreciate him, right? Because
No, you appreciate him. It just there weren't enough people
People
that
watch him.
got to watch him.
Do you think there's a part of Nebraska football fans who really want Emmett Johnson to come back to Nebraska football so you can have a full like a full year of Emmett Johnson
Ooh.
being the superstar, and you can have a full year to appreciate
Yeah.
him and a full year to be like, man, we have the guy at running back. Like I can't because he's playing. What are you looking at?
What is Adam Schefter on Get Up wearing? So when they do the 5-shot here,
Look at
because
that. Look at that. Is
Bustin'
that-
with the Boys are on, they make their weekly appearance on the show. Schefter looks like he is wearing a T-shirt that looks like he's all tatted up with arm sleeves.
Yeah, that's what he's
Yeah.
wearing.
Okay. A little bit out of the norm. Usually he's wearing a suit. But okay. Yes, because as you're in the season, and I think, look at all the opportunities that he would have if he came back.
Yeah.
He would be mentioned as a Heisman guy. People would embrace him. And, he had a meet and greet last night. And from what I'm told, there was a really large following of people
That's
that
awesome.
went. And, he wasn't trying to sell you anything. He was there and he was signing autographs and taking pictures and stuff. And, he's got a brand. Yeah. He came back for another year. You'd be like, oh, okay, now we can appreciate it. It's just like Amir. So
Sure.
watching Emmett this year makes me appreciate the 13-14 of Amir. But in the moment, when he's doing all these things like saving the season against McNeese State or getting a first down against Northwestern so it can lead to a Hail Mary, or he is making up for a shoddy offensive line and he's doing stuff and you go, wow, it's not until he's gone and then you don't have him that I think you appreciate him more. But yeah, I think if Emmett came back for another year, people go, oh, but there'd be no guarantee that he'd have the same kind of year. But
Well-
it's kind of, it's a great story. And I hold that because I was thinking about the credit of Emmett's career.
Okay, because so I'll just say this thought, and maybe it's because part of the reason why I really want him to come back is that Emmett Johnson after the season is going to be well known as like, oh my God, EJ was great and that was awesome and what a run and the Heisman Trophy campaign and Doak Walker and everything like that. But the reason why I want him to come back is 85% of Emmett Johnson's career has been I don't know. He's good, but I don't know. Is he a Big Ten running back? Is he a top tier guy? Is he really? I mean, about 7 weeks ago, Connor Happer asked me, he was like, oh, if this didn't happen, Emmett Johnson wouldn't be here. Is that really a bad thing if Emmett Johnson wasn't here? And that was before he took off, right?
Yeah.
I want him to come back so you can have a full year of man, you're a dude. This is we fully appreciate you because he snuck up on you. This whole thing snuck up on.
Yes and no, because the tail end of Dana, we were like, they've unlocked Emmett.
Sure.
How come Emmett wasn't playing like this before? So coming into this year, nobody thought that he would have the numbers and the impact, because you also thought some other things would be better and it wouldn't be so much Emmett. But it's not like he was off the radar coming into this year.
Yeah.
We spent all summer going, man, they're probably going to have 25 touches a game out of this guy. He has just taken those 25 plus touches and turned them into gold.
Sure. But I think part of the reason why I say snuck up on you is because the first 4 games, it's not as if he was dynamite, incredible. He only had 4 yards of carry against Cincinnati and 3.6 yards of carry against Michigan, right? And after that Michigan game, I honestly had the thought of I don't know if they can keep doing this to this guy. I think it's going to be an Anthony Grant. I thought it was going to be much closer to an Anthony Grant situation where he runs out of gas toward the end of the year and your run game week in and week out takes a, pitter patter in a way. It's been the opposite. It's been the opposite of oh, holy crap, he's the best running back in the country potentially.
JP says, my kid played against Brandon Kinney's kid in junior high football this year. That's what Mo Purify's kid's playing at Westside.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve Warren's kid is one of the better quarterbacks in the Midwest.
Danny
Jamal-
Newman's kid is on Nebraska.
Yeah. I mean, you got to see Maverick and his twin brother plays basketball for Coach Irwin at Midland. And then Jamal Williams, his son played at Millard West, who's now at North Dakota State and doing great things there. And then his other son, Bryson, is going to Iowa State, is at Westside. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Stop aging. Okay. Just stop Father Time for a bit.
Gary, Dominic Raiola's kid is the starting quarterback of Nebraska football. Like
That's true.
that in and of itself is
That's
kind of
true.
like a holy crap.
That is true. Okay. All right.
No, you're good.
I mean, next thing you know, like Tanner Lee's son's going to be playing
No,
somewhere.
I think that is gone. I don't think Cade Warner's kid is coming to Nebraska or anything like that.
because he did.
Well, no, Kurtz did. I'm saying
Oh, Cade Warner.
Cade Warner's kid.
No, I don't think Luke McCaffrey's kid is going to.
This
Well, you never know. I mean, the guy that they had issues with. Well, let's just say I don't think the Warners and the McCaffreys are going to send their kids to Central Florida.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I think my version of this will be like if Ryan Kalkbrenner's newly born child ends up playing women's basketball for Creighton.
Ross says Titus Adams. This kid is in 7th grade this year. Okay. All right.
Moving on.
All right. We're going to take the day off. Speaking of Kalkbrenner, though, by the way, great day. Has an addition to the family. The addition to the family. Maybe had, like I was saying, Amy Williams had one of her better days as the head women's basketball coach at Nebraska. Great recruiting class. Big win last night. Kalkbrenner, look at his day yesterday. So probably doesn't get much sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they got a newborn, all the excitement. Great. That's a fantastic family. Him and his wife, who I know his father-in-law.
Okay.
Father-in-law.
You know everybody's
father-in-law. So Rachel Saunders, his wife, and her dad, Mike, played football at Iowa.
Okay.
When I was following Iowa football.
Oh, okay.
And so we were in a TSA line once, and I'm like, so we talked, and he loves Ryan, but that's a great family. So they have a kid, and then last night he was 8 for 8, had 17 points. Great fit for Charlotte. Ryan Kalkbrenner, honestly, might be a steal in the draft for what he has done. He's put up 17 in an NBA game. I thought he would be like a 10-8 guy.
Yeah.
But his start, good on him. The early season, let's say, is like a steal for Charlotte.
He's going to end up.
Or maybe I'm wrong and people are like, you should have known that it would transfer. Well, not to this extent because he's playing really, really well. So good on them yesterday. What a day.
He might lead the NBA in field goal percentage as a rookie. And if VJ Edgecombe didn't exist, he would be very much on the way to potentially being the rookie of the year. Great win yesterday for Charlotte over Milwaukee. They're 5-7 on the season now, so they're making some waves. And Detroit beat my Bulls yesterday. So
watch out for the Detroit Pistons. They've won 8 in a row. Your team was flat. They've lost 4 in a row. They didn't have Giddey
or Kobe White. We need both of them back. But they didn't have Cade Cunningham, and they beat us because Paul Reed turned into Robert Parrish and had 28, 13, and 6.
I mean, sometimes Nebraska women without some starters last night. Man, sometimes you just gotta grind it out.
It's a bad day for me. It's a bad day for both my teams.
When we come back, let's continue the discussion about the Emmett Johnson, who his TikTok game pretty strong. It's kind of cool. So I've clicked on some of his videos.
Yeah.
And so it'll say you've interacted with him. I've not interacted with him on TikTok.
Sure.
So yesterday, like a notification on my phone popped up and it said, Emmett Johnson's got a notification for you. And I'm like,
Did he DM you?
No. It's from TikTok. If you've
he
posted something.
He posted a video?
Something, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
what was he promoting? His event?
No, he likes to dance.
Is he a good dancer?
I don't know how to judge dancing because I'm not a good dancer.
You could just say if that looks cool or not, Gary. You know what looks cool and what doesn't look
Embrace him for 2 or 3 games. He wouldn't opt out of a bowl game, would he?
No.
I don't think so.
And I think he still is in the point where he needs to help his draft stock. He needs a couple more games he just came in out of nowhere, Loki.
All right. 2 games to make decisions. We'll talk to Steve Sipple coming up at 9:15 with his thoughts through 10 and what's left in the next 2. 7, 8, or 9. Big difference between 7, 8, and 9. In my opinion. That's all to come as we roll till 10 on a Thursday morning on 1620 The Zone. Did you guys do Elkhorn South this year? Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
we
you
did.
did.
Yeah.
He may not have. Didn't you do the West Side game?
Yeah, we did the Elkhorns, and then we also did the Papio South game, Elkhorn South, Papio South. That was a great game.
So Chad Seaver's son is a freshman at Elkhorn South playing for the great guy Rosenberg, and that fantastic staff, Titus. Titus can be a really good player. He was on the Elkhorn South varsity as a freshman. So there's another one to add age. And people need to stop like texting now of like,
Are they making you feel?
well, there's like a lot of people that are my age that have kids now. They're like 23 and they're engaged to former Nebraska volleyball players. And they play football at Iowa. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, we can just stop.
We can just stop
Okay.
there.
All right.
Real quick, are you doing a game on Friday?
John Schreiner and yours truly are doing the West Side Millard South game, which will have 22 Division I or Division II commits. I would need some help from the old heads out there, but I can't imagine there is a game that has been played in the state of Nebraska that has that much college
That's awesome.
committed talent that is on the field. That will be at Phelps Field tomorrow night when the weather's going to be fantastic. I hope the stands are packed. It should be a fun game. We'll see how long it goes to being fun.
Okay.
Doug Woodard has it as a 35.5 point spread. There's a popular 45-14 score out there. I've seen 44-26. West Side's made some subtle adjustments preparing for this game.
Yeah.
Tay Jenkins is now playing defensive back. So I can't wait to see the great talent that is on the field. But yeah, we're doing that game over on 1180 because of Creighton basketball.
Well, yeah, we gotta and Blue Jay overtime, baby. Gotta be on there and give everybody the overtime.
But I don't think that has to be, and you know we've gone through stretches of some great talent in this city, but not that depth for both Millard South and West Side. But gonna miss my B. I want to do the BW doubleheader. I want to do Bennington, Waverly, and then Gretna East. Gretna.
Was he not biting on that?
You know what we should do. No, he won't change this.
John has wanted to do the Millard Southwest Side game since like the beginning of the season. And so when I brought up the possibility of not doing that game, he was like, "How dare you?"
This would be a great night. Because Bishop and I did this at KLIN for district basketball. We did wraparound coverage where we would have, and there's, I think the Blowtorch in Shenandoah does this on Friday nights. There's some other stations like over in Des Moines. They do this. 590, when they had local programming here in town, used to do this, but they would do wraparound coverage where you wouldn't really do like play by play, but you would have like 6 games that you would cover and you would check in.
Yeah.
And, they'd give reports and then you'd bounce from one game to another. That tomorrow night on this radio station or over on 1180 would be the perfect night to do that. Because Papio South Prep is going to be a great game to go to state. You could do all the way through C, but we're doing Millard South West Side, and I got lots of stuff prepared to talk regardless of the outcome of that game.
Well, it's funny. I know that you and Bishop did a good job doing that because even before I knew who you were and I met you, they talked about that when I worked at KLIN.
Really? That was like in the mid 90s.
Yeah. So they talked about how, because I asked about why doesn't KLIN do high school sports? I was like, we should, because I wanted to announce. I wanted to I honestly, I just wanted to be on the radio on KLIN. And they're like, they used to, Gary Sharp and John Bishop, they're not working in Omaha. They used to go to like all the different games and announce the games, and then they would do this and they would do that. And they talked about
Jim Rose,
John Baylor,
Baylor,
the golden age of KLIN
Jeff
radio.
Moats.
You should do. Why haven't they done a reunion? They got to do a reunion. Of all the...
I don't know. I am the only person that has not been back on KLIN.
That's not true.
On like Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys were very, very kind to have me on periodically on Saturday.
You were kind to come on. It was our highest downloaded episode. We were.
You guys were great. You and Cole were fantastic.
Shout out Cole Skukenholz.
Yeah,
it was awesome. No, we literally presented that to the sales team because our downloads got ballooned up from that month because like 5,000 people downloaded your podcast. Yeah. We're like, look at all these downloads we're getting. We should be able to sell KLIN Husker out.
Now to be fair, I think because I'm on 6 to 10, and that's when the best live and local programming is on KLIN is Jack's show.
Yeah.
So unless we're doing like a joint show together, No,
Well,
I've not been back on KLIN.
I'm pretty sure they have. He's on the afternoon show, so you can come on the afternoon show and talk about politics and what's going on.
I was
in
never on the
Lincoln.
morning show there. I was always in the afternoons doing sports and then Sports Day Mid America or now Sports Nightly. I have to read this tweet.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to give this guy credit, and I'm okay with people that keep receipts. I'm not super petty. I think I need to be more petty, but pettiness is great in sports. So Roger here, and Roger's Twitter handle, I just recognize this. Raj knows best.
Nice.
So this is April 22nd. This is a discussion about Emmett Johnson, by the way. He said, EJ is a difference maker. Mark my word. My response, I said, I wish he had more top end speed. I do think he will be very valuable this season catching and running, but is he an NFL running back? Roger responded, this is April 22nd on Twitter. I think so. He has that quick twitch. I think a new OC will do him wonders. Roger just tweeted back at me. I don't think I've interacted with Roger since April 22nd, and that's okay. He said, this aged well. So I said, good call, Roger.
I don't think you're wrong though. Like he still doesn't have. Let's be honest. He still doesn't have the top end NFL speed. He doesn't. Okay, and Emmett Johnson is going to be a guy who I don't know where he's going to be drafted, but no matter where he gets drafted, it's going to be too low. Okay, because he'll go to the combine and he'll run a 40, and it probably won't be at the mark that people are going to want it to be at. Okay. At the same time, though, he has just become so good at hitting the hole and just like not what did we talk about in the Cincinnati game and the games? Man, stop dancing at the hole. Stop, just hit the hole. That's what's changed. He's been hitting the hole harder, and then he's been getting to the second level quicker, and then that's when he's been able to use his elusive ability, you know, in against linebackers and against corners, which is why he looks so good. So the whole he doesn't have top end speed. He still fully doesn't, but he's getting to the second level quicker, and he's not getting touched as much by D tackles or the guys up on the front, and so it's giving him more ability to evade defenders, which is why he's not. That run against UCLA, so not the wheel route touchdown, but the screen touchdown. He scores that touchdown not because he's a 4-3 guy. He scores that touchdown because he's just making dudes miss and he's getting out there real quick. So, I mean, it's a great call by Roger. It is a great call by Roger. I don't think you're totally wrong though.
Do you think? So I'm operating with the mindset that 21 is running the ball for 3 more games and he's off to the NFL. Because then you would be like, whoa, he's coming back. So I'm gonna operate from here on out that we have 3 more games of Emmett Johnson.
I think that's a fine way to operate.
And he's going to do the awards tour, and I don't think he'll make it to New York City.
It'd be great if he did.
I hope that they have, like, the semifinalists do get a trip to the Doak Walker Award or the award ceremony in Orlando, whatever that still is, or some other things where he's going to show up and he'll be the MVP of this Nebraska team. We all vote in the media for some of the postseason awards that are given out at their awards ceremony. So Emmett will have that. Do you think that when and remember, he's very genuine, he's very humble. His parents, they escaped Liberia, they live in the cities.
Oh, wow.
His mom, I think, is still an ER nurse. His dad works for Delta. Do you think when Emmett says thank you and talks about his career at Nebraska, do you think he'll mention Scott Frost? Because I have a list of people that I think he might thank. But do you think he'll thank Scott Frost?
You said it was Ron Brown.
So Ron Brown,
I think
saw him.
I think he'll thank Ron Brown.
And then Ron Brown said, Scott, you have to talk to him.
Yeah.
You have to look at him.
Yeah, I think he'll.
And Scott said, okay.
Yeah.
And if Scott Frost doesn't sign off on Ron Brown saying yes, then Emmett Johnson is playing at an FCS school to begin his career. And now he's probably has transferred.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I mean, depending on how he was used early in his career. But he was he joined a program that was reeling at the time. Guy gave him an opportunity. Guy wasn't here for the majority of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to thank your current head coach. You're going to thank your OC. You're probably going to thank Marty Brown for going to Miami and not taking your carries away. You're probably going to thank Mr. Parker for
Yeah.
not being able to play because you were supposed to come and take some of his carries away this year, coming as a freshman from
You're g-
St. Louis. You're probably going to think Dowdell.
Quives,
You're probably going to think Dowdell for not being a kind of runner that would steal carries last year and transferring to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're thinking a lot of people.
You're
thinking Quentin Ives for never developing into Herschel Walker like Matt Rule thought he would develop into Herschel Walker.
I mean, but like Ron Brown, you'd be like, hey, Coach Brown, man, thanks for taking a chance on me.
Yes.
Thanks.
No Scott.
but-
No, there's no Scott.
okay.
There's no Scott. Thank you. I think there has to be, you tell the story. There has to be a Ron Brown. Thank you. Right. And then you know what? Do you know what he should do? He should say this. I don't want to thank the University of Minnesota for not offering me. I want to thank PJ Fleck for not thinking I was. No, he won't say that.
You can't do
He
that.
won't
You
say
can't do
that.
that. You can't
He
do
won't
that.
say that,
No,
but
you
he-
can't do that when
but-
you've never beaten Minnesota.
But you can do that if you win the Doak Walker and you were Mr.
No,
No,
you can't. You
if you
can't.
were
No,
Mr.
no,
If
you
you
can't.
were Mr. Football in
No, no,
Minnesota,
no.
Minnesota doesn't
No,
offer you, and then you end up winning the
no.
Doak Walker.
That's okay. Let that go. Let that go. Let that go. You didn't beat Minnesota. That
It's
would
not
just be
his
me.
fault. It was
Not it.
Anthony Grant's fault.
It's a team thing. Had 2 opportunities, didn't beat him. I would just leave that alone and let people go, oh, hey, you're from Minneapolis. You were the running back of the year, player of the year in some awards. Minnesota. Hey, that's them.
I would totally. If he rubbed it in Minnesota, I would have no problem with it whatsoever. You know what? He should say, I want to thank my doubters. There you go. And we'll know exactly who he's talking about. He was Mr. Minnesota football. Didn't get offered by the University of Minnesota and then won the Doak Walker. I don't care that he lost. And by the way, he did. The rest of football didn't lose to Minnesota because of Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson was probably the only bright spot of that entire Minnesota game for the Huskers. I'm trying to think of more niche people that Emmett Johnson could thank for potentially screwing up that allowed him to take advantage of his opportunities.
I'm just reading here. Okay, so this is I went way back to look when he got. So he was offered. What really did it for me was after my official visit, we were getting ready to leave. Me, my mom, my brother, and Coach Brown, we all sat down in Coach Frost's office and we talked for a little bit. He asked me about the visit. I loved everything about the visit. When he offered me right there, face to face in front of my family, it just showed. That really did it for me. It was my first time being offered in person. I got offered over the phone many times, but to do it at the school in front of the head coach, to somewhere I'm wanted, it just meant a lot to me and my family. Just seeing the smile on my mom's face really did it for me. Do you think then, because also you got to remember, he committed and Brian Applewhite was the running back coach
Yeah,
here.
good call.
And Brian Applewhite, I think had just gotten here. And then
he did.
Whipple had just gotten here
Whipple
on
had
his
just
visit.
gotten there.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Don't you think Emmett Johnson would have been a good Mark Whipple RB too? RB as well in the pass game? Getting out to him?
I don't
think that's a conversation we need to have. I think the whole Mark
The
Whipple
whole-
era
the-
of Nebraska football, we just completely scoot over.
listen. If Dana doesn't show up, we're not talking on November 13th of 2025. We're probably not talking a lot about him
No, I don't think we are.
because he unlocked something and then, it said, okay, we have something here.
Well,
They kept him because we were kind of going into this year thinking that Dowdell is not going to go anywhere and that these
Sure.
two are going to share again. And then all of a sudden, Dowdell is gone and Nebraska doesn't really pursue any running backs because they got this freshman coming. So he's now going to be
sure.
the guy there. I mean, just look at how this whole running back year has gone. You had two
Yeah.
starters from last year. They both go into the portal. One comes
That's a good
back.
point.
The other goes to Kentucky. Nebraska recruits, gets well before last year ended, gets Parker from St. Louis. So you think, okay, they got a guy.
Yeah.
Lost Lacey. We got a guy that might be just like Lacey. Then you go through spring and Parker is on the fat boy bike. Okay.
And Ives isn't making the steps that you think he's going to make.
And you're like, man, there is nobody behind Emmett Johnson.
And then you're like, they have to move Isaiah Mosey over to RB2. And you're like, you're really going to take a freshman wide receiver and make him a running back when he didn't play in high
then
school?
they dabbled with Marty Brown
They did.
and through it all, Emmett Johnson was like, hello, I'm over here. and you're already expecting production out of him, and then it just grows. It's like, he's the guy. I guess
Yeah.
he's got to be the guy. And now he has turned into truly the guy.
Do you not think that if Dante if Dante Dowdell is not at the University of, or is at the University of Nebraska, I think we can all say pretty confidently Emmett doesn't get the Doak Walker hype, and he doesn't get the get him to New York hype, and you probably don't have the Heisman campaign. Okay.
Mhm.
But do you think if Dowdell is here, he doesn't get to 1,000 yards from scrimmage? I still think Emmett does. I still think he does, because even his burst with Dana Holgorsen at the end of the year, when you're like, hey, you might have something with Emmett, still came with Dante as as another running back, as a guy that they were giving carries. So I still think that even if Dowdell were on the team, that Emmett still has a really good year, and we're heralding him as like, hey, what a hell of an RB, and great job and everything like that. It's not at the same level, but I still think that Emmett finds that. Now, with Holgorsen,
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, because I'm looking at, so the last, take out the bowl game because Dowdell was not in the bowl game. The last 3 games, Emmett carried the ball 44 times.
Okay.
Dowdell carried it 31. So it
So
wasn't like it was so much one-sided,
yeah,
but I mean, look at 17 touches against USC, 22 against Wisconsin, 24 against Iowa,
he's still
19 against Boston College. That was at the end of last year when Dana showed up.
he doesn't get the Doak Walker hype, but I still think he ends up having 1,000 yards. And honestly, too, I think, Emmett might be more efficient in a way, too, if Dante's still on the team, because you don't have to give him the ball 30 times. You probably give it closer to that 22 number, right? And Dante actually would have been very useful from a short yardage situation. Like that 4th and 2 against Michigan, you give that to Dante Dowdell, who probably ends up getting it. Like, the struggles against Michigan State in the short yardage, you probably don't struggle as much as you have Dowdell. But at the same time, I'm glad Dowdell left, because now we get to celebrate Emmett Johnson. He's turned into what he's turned into, and that's way more fun than having both of them.
All right. When Emmett leaves, again, that's what I'm just going to operate that way. And if you know what, you show up on Christmas and there's a gift under your tree, you go, hey, I think it's tampering time for Nebraska. I got 3 guys off the top of my head that I would go and tamper with. We'll do that when we come back.
Okay.
One of them is a running back, and it's not the running back that is being attached to Nebraska. I wouldn't dabble with Dylan Edwards.
I have a running back that I would like them to dabble.
Yeah, stay far away.
Yeah.
I have them, and Nebraska, actually, a little hint for you, Nebraska played that running back this season.
Ooh, okay. I got to look back at my Houston Christian depth chart.
No, Akron.
All right, we're back with more Gary and Matt with Jimmy after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, let's go on a Thursday. Put this on your calendar, everyone. One of the really, really neat things we do here at NRG Media with all of our great listeners is our Stuff the Truck event. It's coming up on Friday, December 5th. It's going to be sunny and 75 over at the Westwood Plaza,
What I've heard.
123rd and Center. Friday and Saturday, the 5th and 6th of December, the U.S. Marine Corps, Toys for Tots, our Stuff the Truck. You got the dates, you know the location. We ask that you bring new unwrapped toys for the children. Our Toys for Tots campaign.
Come meet Matt.
Woodhouse Chevrolet, Molina Healthcare of Nebraska. We got more details coming, but put it on your calendar. Our annual Stuff the Truck event is coming up on Friday, December 5th, and also Saturday, December 6th. Steve Sipple probably won't be there. He'll be covering the Big Ten championship game between Indiana and Ohio State in Indianapolis. He will join us coming up at 9:15. Brian Edwards at 9:45. You ready for a shopping list?
Yes, I am. I actually, funny enough, have a shopping list as well.
Okay. So you said a running back.
I said a running back.
These
an
are
offensive tackle.
I don't know these guys for certain, but they're at places where maybe they aren't playing as much as they played in the past, or the season hasn't gone so well. I wonder how Darius Taylor at Minnesota is doing.
Gary, that's my running back. That is my running back. Yes, I absolutely. I want Darius. I wonder. He needs a new start. He needs a new, fresh start. He's battled some injuries. I don't think they were using him enough last season. The season before, he was absolutely awesome. I just also too I just think he's a guy that like PJ Fleck runs down running backs, right? Like he ran down Mo Ibrahim. Like Mo Ibrahim was awesome, but Mo Ibrahim didn't have a career after Minnesota because he just runs them to the ground. I think that Nebraska has proven, hey, we can elevate running backs. Like we can take you to the next level. Look at what we did with Emma Johnson, right? They can use that as a ploy. I think it would be awesome if they got Darius Taylor.
The other one, so Nebraska last night offered a defensive back. I think he's a portal guy. So I'm trying to connect the dots on who Nebraska, where there's some spots where they might need some bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to get a tackle, and pay a tackle. How's Jordan Seaton doing? Think he'll stick around Colorado? They're 2-7.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's an incredible idea.
Yeah. And then the other guy.
I think that's awesome.
So tampering is.
Can I guess your third guy real quick, by the way? Because you and I have had the two same guys. Are you about to say Luke Reynolds from Penn State, the tight end?
I'm going to say a tight end, but it is not him.
He's like a young whippersnapper that is a super highly rated prospect, and it's like they haven't used him enough. And if he doesn't end up liking the head coach, Nebraska is going to need a tight end. Luke Reynolds is a guy that I definitely want. I thought we were going to go 3 for 3 for a second.
No, but we are 3 for 3 on the position. So again, tampering is illegal, but actually it's legal. I mean, this is the legal tampering period.
Unless you're Michigan State.
Yeah, that seems like more like a setup.
Yeah. The fact that everybody else gets to do illegal crap, and we know they're doing illegal crap, and we're out there talking about all that stuff, and then they end up having to how crappy do you have to be to vacate 14 wins over 3 years?
How crappy do you have to be to lose twice to Mel Tucker at 2 different spots in back-to-back games?
That's a good point.
So I have a tight end. Ready?
Yes.
Ben Bramer at Iowa State.
Yeah.
So Bramer, who committed to Scott Frost from Pierce, the home of Matt Harrion. Speaking of aged, Matt Harrion's got a daughter who is a really good athlete. He by the way, great weekend last weekend at TCU after he was convulsing on the field against Arizona State when he got crushed, and it was scary. He had a convulsion on the field, went to the hospital, plays the next week. Last week at Fort Worth, Iowa State rallies, and Bramer was a big part of it. He's a Sunday guy. NFL might be where we go next. But remember, Nebraska, this current staff didn't have a shot with him because just like Hausman committed to Scott Frost.
Yeah.
When Frost is not here, boom, we're out. And, Nebraska tried to say, tried to solidify the commitment with Bramer, but Matt Campbell did a good job. Once Frost was fired in September, Matt Campbell cultivated that relationship, got him to come to Iowa State, and he has been great. So if he wants to play another year of college football, maybe come back closer to home. Nebraska does have a need for a tight end. So that would be a guy that I would just go and I would tamper with. And, they got people. They know people that can get to their people. But there's a brief little shopping list of people that I think Nebraska should go after. But I wonder what Jordan Seaton is going to do, because this will be year 3 at Colorado. He has he's been okay this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was so highly acclaimed coming out of high school. He has had his moments. Like, he probably was not ready to play last year.
He got thrown
as a freshman,
fire.
But he has been better this year. I wonder if he sticks around in Boulder. If they commit to Juju Lewis as their starting quarterback, does he stick around, or does somebody give him a Louis Vuitton bag and he goes somewhere else for his final year of college, makes more money than he would make at Colorado, play 1 year, go to the NFL?
See, I think on your shopping list, I think Darius Taylor is going to be affordable. And I just think the running back market in the college football is just bound to turn into the running back market for the NFL, where it's just you can get a lot of high quality players and you don't.
What's the top end price you'd pay for a running back?
I think
pay for a running back to acquire or keep.
If I'm paying $1 million for a running back, they better be on a preseason Doak Walker Awards watch list. That's what I would put it. If I'm paying $1 million for a running back, they better be on not in the Heisman conversation, but when you're scrolling down on the Heisman Trophy betting odds, they're plus 10,000. Okay, so I would say that's the most I would pay is $1 million.
Do you think if you paid $1 million for a running back to come here, they could handle the pressure of the scrutiny of the increased expectations?
Yes, I think if you're paying $1 million,
discussion last night on Donnie's appearance on the radio show about Pritchett.
I think if you are paying a running back $1 million, that running back's a stud. That running back has probably already proven, hey, I'm not paying $1 million for a high school running back. I'm not. I'll pay $1 million, a guy like Nate Frazier at Georgia, who's proven it, or who's a high level prospect and played in the SEC. I'd consider that. I'd pay if Ahmad Hardy had gotten in the portal, I'd pay $1 million for Ahmad Hardy. I think Hardy's definitely more than $1 million mark than Frazier.
Would you like to know what Lacey is paid at Ole Miss?
I would love to know. I would love to know. I would love to know what Dante's paid at Kentucky. I mean, you hear the rumors, but I would like to know the actual.
What are the rumors? I don't know.
The rumor I heard was anywhere from 300 to 500.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, for a guy. I mean, he had a lot of touchdowns last.
We can go back. Where was running back on the list? Rule went through this. Was it about a month ago?
Where he broke
ranking his position.
Elite tackle, elite corner, elite wide receiver. And the quarterback was high too. I think
running back a little bit further down.
It has to be. Okay. It's going to be when we talk about this NFL light stuff. The market is going to shake out the same way that it does in the NFL. Your premium positions are going to be offensive tackles, defensive ends, and quarterbacks. Those are the 3 highest you're going to pay for. Then below that, you'll have cornerbacks and wide receivers. And then your non-premium positions would be considered centers and guards and running backs. And then tight ends can get weird, right? Depending on the level of how good they are. But I would say, $1 million is the most I would pay for a running back. Now, Jordan Seaton, we're going to find out how much relationships over bags. Because it seems like he's always had a good relationship with Deion. But you don't think he's worth easily over $1 million. Easily. Could be 2. He might be worth $2 million.
Now, who's hot? Who hot? Tell me who rock. You sell out in the stores?
I don't
Portal
know.
season, more money, more problems.
I don't know any of the words that just came out of your mouth.
You've not. Whoa.
I know zero of that. All of that was
the
gibberish.
Notorious B.I.G., the open to that song from Diana Ross. I'm coming out. More money, more problems.
Let you go. I know that. I wasn't a Tupac or Biggie guy.
All right. So you don't have the 25th anniversary super deluxe edition of Life After Death?
I'm assuming you do.
Got it on my phone. All right.
That doesn't count. It's got to be like
Everybody's got music on their phone.
yeah, but I thought you meant like a vinyl.
No.
Do you want an advent calendar
No.
or a vinyl for Christmas? I've been thinking about your Christmas gift. What do you want? It's one or the other.
What tells you that I'm an advent calendar guy?
I don't know. I just think that everybody has an advent calendar.
What if I'm a candle guy?
Oh, are you? That's fine. I
Am I?
bought gifts for Jewish people as well. I grew up in the most Jewish community, one of the most Jewish communities in America.
I'm either going to celebrate 12 days or more.
Okay, good for you.
All right.
You sounded like the kids at grade school who would brag about that.
All right. Steve Sipple and Brian Edwards still to come on this Thursday edition on 1620 The Zone. All right, Gary, Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. Hello to everybody in the chat. If you'd like to join the show on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline, 402-951-1620. You can always email us into the Equitable Bank inbox. Doug and Andrew. Gary at 1620thezone.com or Matt at 1620thezone.com or on Twitter at Gary Sharp 1620 or at Matt McMedia. Would you like to guess?
Oh, fun.
Maybe you've already looked at this. What the spread for Wisconsin, Indiana is this weekend?
No, I have not.
Because it is.
It's at Indiana.
Wisconsin is
it at Indiana? It's at Indiana?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy stock in happiness in the fall and the winter in Bloomington.
I'm going to say 24.5. Minus 24.5.
It is rather large. And I bring this up because this is where Wisconsin football is this season. So this is, and we all knew what the schedule was going into this year. This is the third time this year that Wisconsin has been an underdog of 20 or more points. Do you know how many times that happened between 2000 and 2024?
Probably never.
Zippo, you're correct. Third time they've been an underdog of 20 or more points. And they are that this weekend against Indiana.
What is the spread? Is it?
The last I looked,
it's 29.5.
Yeah. It's inched up a little bit.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, wasn't Wisconsin? Hey, good win by Wisconsin against Washington. They say Luke Fickell will be back and they go out and not flat and don't drop a game. They win a game. Wasn't their leading passer the punter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you know what their quarterback, his average yards per attempt were? 2 feet. He threw the ball 12 times for 8 total yards.
That's not good.
No, not at all.
Not good.
I
Not
watched
good.
that game. That was a bad decision. That was a waste of time. Also, too, Washington, what the hell are you doing? How do you
that's
lose that game?
That's a bad loss. That's the loss where the coach has one foot out the door and his team knows it, that he might be going south to Westwood,
yeah.
and the team responds that way because they look awful.
They look terrible. We are getting to the point where it's like it seemed like a couple of weeks ago, and maybe I'm off here, and you can correct me where I'm wrong, but it seemed like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got the vibe that a lot of people are like, no, jobs are better than you think they are. Like all these jobs that people are out there way better. Yeah, no, there are more coaches that are way more content staying where they're at, and they're not tempted at all at going anywhere. And in the last 3 weeks, I feel like we are into now the money is coming out and the figures are coming out and the agents are talking and discussions are advancing, and the attitudes that you had from schools before, from coaches before, being like, I'm signing my extension, I'm staying here, I'm not going in, has turned into just all's quiet is on the Western Front right now, and it's a little too quiet. That's like, that's
why I brought up Mike Elko.
Where's
if I'm Texas, I am floating everywhere that Mike Elko is going to Penn State to screw with Texas A&M.
Because 3 weeks ago, everybody was going everywhere. And now nobody's going anywhere. And I think it's because things are actually moving. What if LSU makes the same mistake twice? They give a call over to South Bend.
I don't know,
man.
Why Notre Dame is, you could be an independent and do a lot of Notre Dame things. His name is also, Marcus Freeman's name is also attached to the Giants job, but it looks like Shula, the defensive coordinator with the Rams.
Yes.
So Don Shula's grandson, Mike Shula's son, right?
Yeah.
Is like one of the leading candidates at the age of 39 to run the New York Football Giants, who I will be rooting for this weekend, or rooting for one particular player.
They never say hire. They always say never hire the interim. But like Mike Kafka is a very highly regarded offensive coordinator who became the interim. That could be a potential.
I liked him when he was in Kansas City.
He was okay. I didn't know.
He was a quarterback coach in Kansas City for Mahomes at the beginning.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of hiring the interim, but like I think that could be a name to potentially look out for. Also, too, I wonder what Clint Kubiak's son. He'll probably be another name in all those coaching searches.
Yes.
What's his
Clint?
Okay.
Clint is the son. Gary's the dad.
Gary.
Yes.
Kubiak. My bad. My sorry.
Speaking of quarterbacks, so last night there were some mind-numbing performances in the game of basketball, whether it be on the college or pro circuit. No, before I go any further, I don't know if you can do this
Okay.
because one of the schools involved is a private school, but they got public money to build some facilities. Can the governor mandate in the state of Nebraska? Can Governor Pillen, Jimmy, get a hold of him,
Yeah. Can you get him
that
on the phone,
when
please?
Creighton and Nebraska play in basketball, men and women, that they both have to wear their dark jerseys.
Mm.
Okay, that it's always red versus blue.
Wait, you want
It's
that?
always red versus blue.
Okay.
Nebraska, the only thing Nebraska women's basketball did wrong last night is they wore the whites. Okay, you got to wear the reds.
Tell Connor.
Creighton played the role. It should be red, blue. Every single time that Creighton and Nebraska men's and women's basketball plays, it has to be the darks. Okay, you have to wear the red versus the blue. It's a great vision.
The state mandates you want
Yeah.
the state to make are quite incredible.
Connor Haffer has
don't-
influence
hey,
on both programs.
I don't ask for much. I don't know that.
I don't know. You asked for a lot. You asked for Herbie to be reset. You asked for the Killigan song to be more popular. You're asking for them to put the state outline as one of their next video boards. Now you're asking them.
These are good ideas.
Hey,
You
that's
want-
going to happen.
You want them. You want them to bring back a skinny end. You want them to bring back Coke. You want them now to wear red and blue jerseys for basketball.
You don't
games.
think
I don't
that-
see anything
men's
wrong with
basketball
any of
does that, and it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
But
I'm
but
just- I'm
what-
just-
what-
I'm
come
just-
on, Amy Williams, you had a great day yesterday.
just-
except for that, someone convinced you that our ladies look better in white.
You don't want them to wear the gray jerseys anymore in baseball.
Those dark gray, maybe something along.
No,
those
I
lines.
like.
Oh, you like the
I
grays?
like the ones
I
that
hate
everybody
the grays.
hates.
Oh, you
I
came
hate
around.
The grays
Yeah.
are
Okay.
disgusting. They are so bad. You have a laundry list of things that you want them to do, and then you say, I don't ask for much. You ask for a lot.
As an outsider, I think these are reasonable requests.
Hey, I'm a ticket holder. I think I should have a say.
You ask for Tim Brando to no longer be on the calls. They don't even control that.
Now everyone can get behind
That's
that.
about Nebraska being better on the field.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't want Devin Gardner anymore. I can deal with Tim for a game.
I liked him with Spencer, and then they
Tim
broke him up
Tim, when you haven't had Tim all year
for one game.
for one game,
The
ain't
Brando
that bad.
game, yeah.
the Brando game. It's fun.
I can
He's
get
talking
behind
about a bunch
that.
of nonsense about
Okay.
his golf game, about the women and men that he knows, all the references from the that go even over Jimmy's head. I can do that for one game.
I did know the dating game. Shout out Jim Lang. He's dead.
But then 3 Brando games can't do it.
Be
That is
better.
a lot.
Be better Nebraska
That's
football.
true. You could get Gus cracking voice.
But let's just next time, because when Nebraska and Creighton play on December 7th on the men's side, red versus blue.
It does look pretty.
It-
I like it.
It should be
Pops.
It should be that way. I just, okay. That's my thing. Okay, back to the mind-numbing performances last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen her game, Audie Crooks. So she is from Iowa, went to Iowa State.
Dump the ball into her every play.
43 points last night in 20 minutes for
Hell
Iowa
yes.
State.
That's crazy.
Hannah Hidalgo, who, college women's basketball, I don't have anybody like close to Caitlin Clark, that like appeal, and Juju Watkins is out for the year.
Damn, yeah.
But it just every year they seem to find like, okay, when Paige Beckers, her eligibility expires at UConn, you're like, and you're like, okay, LSU,
Mm-hmm.
UCLA. Hannah Hidalgo last night, 44 points and 16 steals, like mind-numbing performances, but none of them touch what happened last night in Los Angeles. Did you see the joke?
No, I
It
did.
is
I heard
one
about
of it is one of the most impressive performances on a back-to-back
Love seeing the Clippers lose. Awesome.
through 3 quarters last night.
Sorry, Jimmy P.
A guy that I think could stat stuff every night. 52, 11, and 16.
That's incredible.
He finished the night with 55 points. If I am a diehard Denver sports fan, and I am a big fan of the Broncos losing this weekend,
Shut up.
so
Malcolm.
that just kind of eliminates me from being a diehard Denver sports fan. But I love the
Yeah.
Joker. Okay, this was the second night of a back-to-back, and he does this, and I hope nobody ever takes him for granted. He had 25 in the first quarter, okay? I think that the Joker man has passed John Elway as the athlete that is most associated with Denver professional sports.
Not yet. But
I'm listening. You might not
No,
be
no,
far
I'm-
off.
Now,
just
I'm-
because a
I'm
lot of young
listening.
people now are like,
I
I'm
don't
listening.
when like, okay, so Elway's restaurant, which is their the one that I've gone to in Cherry Creek,
still open.
but I was at DIA the other day, and you go down the escalators, you're going to get on the tram, and he's got a big
train
he's got a
has
big display
arrived.
of a steakhouse, and everybody knows John Elway, and he is still involved with the Broncos. But I think in Denver professional sports, if I was standing in line outside of Block 16 today to get in, okay, for lunch, and I was like stopping people on the street, and I'm saying, Denver professional sports most associated with, I think I might get some jokers.
You will get jokers.
I think I think we
Random
have,
Larry Walker.
I think in Denver we passed the torch from John Elway to Mr. Jokic.
Okay, so passing, I'll give you passing.
Coming up on KOA.
Yeah, I'll give you passing. I'll give you I'll give you that it's
Okay.
happening. I give you that Nikola Jokic, if you look at the advanced metrics, right, and
Mhm.
even just the vanilla metrics now, is on his way to becoming one of the greatest statistical basketball players of all time. Okay, you look at his efficiency numbers, the true shooting percentage, the effective field goal percentage, the PER, all
91.5 last night on 55 points. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it's one of those things where it's like you go back and you look at the history of NBA basketball. There really hasn't been a more efficient offensive basketball player than Nikola Jokic. Okay, and his defense is getting better. His defense, he's no longer one of those. Oh, he's just a statue. No, is he great? No, but he's good enough, right? So yeah, I agree. I mean, he's becoming
like nightly.
Gary, he has the potential if he wins a couple more titles to be a top 10 player of all time. Okay, he does. That's not if you
Is he
think
the best player in the world right now?
Yes,
Ahead of Wemby and Giannis.
yes. Curry though had 46 yesterday. Hell of a win for the Warriors over Wemby.
Unacceptable loss.
There's a bug there.
I don't want to kill a bug.
Take it home. Need a pet.
I don't want.
What do you think? You're going to go to bug jail? Step on it.
No, I don't need to kill. It's fine.
Oh.
Just swat off the wall. And then we're gonna get it all. We newly painted the walls. You want to get the blood juice all over the blood, or the
It's
bug
like Predator.
blood all over
Yeah,
the
it's
wall?
Stone
lots of
Cold
stuff all
Killers don't leave evidence.
So you want me to rub it? Do you know how much crap I would get from leaving monsters in the bathroom to then killing a bug on the wall? People would be like, "Why did Matt do that? He
You'd be the
stained our painted
BTK of
wall.
pest
Now there's a
control here."
bug stain here." That's exactly. So Josh Peterson would sit here, is like, "Now I got a bug stain to look at," is what he would say.
He outscored the starting lineup for the Clippers last night.
John Elway.
Quitter
won,
still hurt.
John Elway won 2 Super
No,
Bowls.
well, John,
Won
yeah,
two-
yes.
He
Good,
won 2.
good.
He went to 5, and he created one of the greatest defenses of all time in 2015 to help win another Super Bowl title for the Denver Broncos. He's responsible for 3 Super Bowl championships, 6 appearances, and the acquisition, probably the greatest acquisition in Denver sports history, is acquiring Peyton Manning. He is fully responsible for that. He is the coup de grace
Wow.
of Denver sports.
I would have thought Calvin Nat. But
If Nikola Jokic wins 2 more titles, and that's even low, okay? If he just wins, that's how good he is. He only has
Yeah.
to win 2 more. He is what you say he is. He is the epitome of Denver sports. Not yet, though. Not yet.
Okay. It's a nightly thing. I
I
hope nobody takes for granted what he does, because it's like every night it's like 40 and 17. But last night he had 55 points. I thought, and Jimmy, you are a student of the game.
I've seen.
I thought after, because I wasn't watching the game, but I was getting, I was on Twitter. People were like, "Okay, Joker had 25 in the first quarter."
like, whoa, is this Alex?
Like I
English?
thought he was. I thought he was on pace to. So David Thompson has the scoring record in a single game for the Nuggets.
73, but
Yeah.
still lost the scoring title that year to George Gervin, who had 63 earlier that day.
The Iceman for the Spurs. Thank you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a setup for you.
Almost dropped an.
I thought
F-bomb
he
on
was
us.
going to eclipse. I thought he was going to do it, but they were winning, and he didn't have to do much in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
So
Well, he's best player on the planet.
out of the
I'd start a team with him ahead of Wemby right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was saying last night, he's proven that he's been able to win the
I
playoffs
don't
right
know.
now. Nothing against Wemby, you just haven't done it yet. It's
don't-
coming. It's coming.
You're biased because of what he did to you against.
No, I don't
against the
have.
Bulls
I
the
don't
other
have
day.
bias. No, I
Oh
don't
no,
have bias.
Matt came up in the house last night, and I said he sent one of
With
the
your
ultimate.
wife?
Yes, because I said
Don't talk about me a lot.
Matt's volunteered to babysit,
Oh,
and
oh, for God's sake.
yeah. So no, we're not gonna do that.
We're just, trying to work on
I
me
would-
getting you into big brothers, big sisters. Let's get that, and then maybe we can take care
First
of
off-
infants that are not a year old.
Wembanyama is what, 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt sent a
Nick-
text a
Nick-
few weeks ago that all that my apprentice is going to know is winning Spurs
I
basketball
know
with
that.
Wemby.
I told Jimmy
until
I go,
she's
I'm
in
so-
college.
I am so jealous. I would start.
21.
I would start a bet, and it has nothing to do with bias. Wemby's 20. Nikola Jokic is 30. I mean, I get 10 more years of Victor Wembanyama. So
He's coming.
I would definitely start a team with
Gotta win that
Wembanyama
damn game
over
last
Nikola
night, though.
Jokic just because of the decade. Out of the 10,
Beautiful uniforms.
so
and court.
the 10 highest PER seasons of all time. Okay. Can you guess how many Nikola Jokic have out of the top 10?
4.
He's got 3 of them. He's got the highest all time, 39.36. It clears Giannis by 3 points last season. He's got the 3rd highest from 2021 to 2022, and he's got the 7th highest in 2024. He also has the 15th highest of all time, the 18th highest of all time, and the 23rd.
What is
highest
the
of all
stat?
time. This is like the efficiency rating that they
The
use.
PFF of NBA.
It's
Oh.
not. This PER has been used
go
and
off
dated all
ball.
the way back to the 90s. Okay.
I mean, I felt dirty for saying true shooting percentage at 91.5
But
last night.
true shooting percentage, though, is actually a great
Too many
stat.
points, rebounds, wins,
Yeah.
I'm
no,
more comfortable
no.
to saying
ass
he
kicking,
was he was dominating.
True shooting
last night.
percentages, because effective field goal percentage,
as opposed to
as-
false shooting.
effective field goal percentage weighs 3-point field goal percentage a little bit more, and the true shooting percentage adds in free throw percentage to effective field goal percentage.
I
It's a
don't know,
great stat.
protractor.
No, stop doing that stuff,
Ugh.
guys. All right, these are effective
I'm just
stats
trusting
that
you.
tell you how good players are.
Any PFF stats in the bye week for Nebraska?
You know what? I like
Because isn't
your-
today Wacky Stat Day?
It is.
Yeah.
I totally forgot wacky stats.
You don't admit that on the
know, I
air.
know they're not playing this week. There's no wacky stats on a
You
bye
can
week.
always come up.
You
with
can
a
we
wacky
will always
stat.
find wacky stats.
I wasn't.
I gave you a wacky stat about Wisconsin for the 3rd time being a underdog of 20 or more.
You
The
can come up
jing-
with
hey,
something.
the jingle's written. The jingle's almost written.
All right. When we come back,
It's almost written, man. It's almost there. You're gonna love it.
Wait, you actually have a jingle? Nice.
it's just like, couldn't we have done this in a day? This jingle better be great.
It's hard making a 10-second jingle,
Okay.
and I'm trying to throw in. No.
No?
Well, it's kind of low key that beat. It's kind of it's ba 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 ba. That's the end. But there needs to be a bump bump ba bump 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 ba bump 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 ba bump 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 ba 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 bump ba 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 bump 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 ba 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 bump. That's the jingle.
Does this sound like the
I-
Adams family?
I can just cut it now, and there you go.
So that
It
is
sounds like the Adams family.
it comes from the Adams family because my dad would make
Part of the
uh,
Adams family?
No, my dad made jingles for all of the kids. Okay.
Whoa.
And
Okay.
so one of the jingles that he made was like based on the Adams family, and he would sing that song to my sister.
But you got a jingle.
I
That's-
had my own jingle. So my
wonder what
dad's
yours would
my
be.
dad's jingle for me was he remixed "Let Me Tell You About My Best Friend."
Oh,
Oh,
He's like,
That's
"Let me
nice.
tell you
Warming
about
my
my
cold heart."
best
Yeah.
friend.
Damn.
His name is Matthew James, and I love him to the very end."
oh, that's very
Aw.
sweet.
Yeah.
Poll question, and then we got to go to a break here. Can you be both an Adams family fan and the Munsters fan? Do you have to choose either or?
It's a
I
great
haven't
point.
I haven't watched one episode of I don't even know who the Munsters are. Isn't Munster a cheese? I mean that,
It is.
yeah,
They,
it's a
they
great
invented this
cheese.
cheese. Yes. The
Did
family.
they did the Munster
Young man, it
family
was back in the 1960s. These were very popular sitcoms.
you know,
Shout out
I-
Uncle Fester.
my Dan has never seen The Year Without a Santa Claus. He has
2020 was rough for all
I
of
was
us.
just we're talking about things that were made in the 60s and 70s. I just thought, I'd mention that. Year Without a Santa Claus, one of my favorite Christmas movies ever.
Oh, I thought like Dan
Yeah.
hasn't found out yet.
Yeah. Kids are in school now.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Dan, no, the movie Year Without a Santa Claus with Snow Miser and Heat Miser. You know that movie?
No.
It was made in 1974. It was
I know
Scott
Die
Motion.
Hard made 1988.
The Lakers won the title that year.
88, correct. 7 games over Detroit. Hell of a series.
Thank
Great
you, Rain
series.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Last year at the
Well,
Silverdome.
that was Isaiah Thomas ankle game, right?
Yes. Game 6.
Eric, stay right there. Nebraska has a load of cash for the portal, but does that mean much?
Whoa.
Pose that question. We come back. Gary and Matt. Steve Sipple's coming up in an hour. He was, what do you think? Munsters or Adams family for Sip?
Jimmy.
Yeah, Adams family, I think.
Little boy blue and the man in the moon.
Back with more after this on 1620 The Zone. All right. Last night, did you guys dabble with some MAC football? Anybody? Anybody?
Hell
Anybody?
yes.
Northern Illinois. You're a big fan of DeKalb.
my
I can't
matchup.
stand DeKalb. I actually don't like Northern Illinois. Because when they made that Orange Bowl one year and everybody turned into Northern Illinois fans and they just all felt the need to crap all over Northwestern and go, oh, we're the best team in Illinois, we're the best team here, blah
there
blah
it is.
blah, you know, oh go Huskies, you know. All of a sudden that year, everybody had a Huskies hoodie they were wearing or a Huskies hat they were wearing, like they, you know, had gone there for years.
If
It
it
was
makes you feel better,
it
I
was
forgot they were in
embarrassing.
the Orange
It's
Bowl.
embarrassing how fair weather Chicago was as a college sports town.
Who'd they
So
lose
did they
to?
lose to? Did they lose?
They beat a team that should drop football.
Akron?
They're playing UMass.
They're playing UMass.
Get
Okay.
them on the non.
So UMass is now 0-10. They set off fireworks when they kicked a field goal to make it 45-3 last night. They may be the worst FBS team ever. They've got 4 wins in 7 years.
Which SEC team are they playing in week 9?
Take a look at their schedule.
Were they-
0-10.
You think Arkansas, that's their senior night? That'd be a good senior night matchup.
Here is Eric on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Good morning, E. E? So, Jimmy?
Jimmy. No, Eric.
Call back, please.
Do we have another guy on the line?
Who is this guy?
Is he a Northern Illinois fan?
No, I want to talk Storm Chasers. I was about to write the name until we went to.
Okay,
Eric,
what's
so
his name?
I can't remember.
All right.
We're gonna have no name.
line 2. I can't remember. Sorry. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's your name?
Hello, this is Jesse.
Hey,
Oh,
Jed-
that's right.
Hey,
I'm
Jesse,
sorry,
How you
Jesse.
doing? Good morning, sir.
Boy, how soon they forget. Wow.
not enough coffee this
Um,
morning in my red cup.
Well, I've been away a while, so hey, I just wanted to
Why?
congratulate Mike Brown, the
Oh,
I guess clubhouse manager. We used to call him clubbies, but I guess that's not.
you can't do that anymore. That's not PC. But yes, he got honored the other day.
Yeah, and Mike, he's a great kid. I knew him since he's been a bad boy, a little kid running around there trying to steal balls from us, and I just wonder, Sharpie, how our old friend Bongo Bailey's feeling about that right now.
Yeah.
Whatever towels he's washing right now in the next world.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. But yeah, this is Jesse Cuevas, by the way. People don't recognize your voice, and if you don't, come on. But yeah, so International League home clubhouse clubby of the year is what he was given earlier this week. But yeah, you've got hey, by the way, as the season went along and people were moving in and out of Werner Park, you had some proteges that were out there working on the grounds crew.
Yeah, there's still a few of our tree around. I mean, the leaves are falling fast off it, but there's still some. And I actually, when they had some situations out there, I guess my name was brought up about maybe going out and helping, but I guess now you have to have a
Degree?
degree in turf grass management to work on the field.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's terrible.
I mean, I guess my degree from Mancuso Tech didn't cut the mustard.
I think I don't know what's your experience. I mean, taking care of Rosenblatt for 400 years.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I'm glad. I love Marty. I'd do anything for him, but I'm glad I didn't get that call because I don't know about that kind of stuff anymore.
Hey, Jesse, can you take some classes at Metro while you're working on
Yeah.
the field?
Well, I actually did back in the day, and then I kept correcting the instructor, and so finally I said, "Okay, here, get out. Here's your certificate. Why don't you blow and go do whatever you're doing?" So I said, "All right."
Yeah, I think you got a nice education on the diamond. You didn't need it in a classroom.
Yeah, and I'm glad, again with Mike, he's been a guy. He's done everything there is to do at a ballpark.
Yes, he has. This is his. He's been here. He's been in Omaha for almost 20 years. I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Started as a bat boy with the Royals.
That's awesome.
Now, Sharpie, in your days in the minors, you had to help with the luggage and stuff, didn't you?
Periodically, but we had some really good clubbies, home and visiting.
Yeah, we used to. we had a clubhouse guy, Rick English, we used to help him with the load out and load in, and then that's back in the day. He actually had a keg of beer in the clubhouse, and at the end of the homestand, he'd roll it out into the dugout and say, "Have at it, boy."
Nice.
That is I don't know why he didn't win an award.
He should have.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
didn't even know they had that.
yeah.
to be honest
Well,
with
things have
But-
changed. They do things differently now from your day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But appreciate it. And hey, I just wanted to all say, you guys are doing a great job. I love the show. I love you're teaching that young man how to do this thing right, and
Thank you.
it's nice to have a guy let you finish a sentence now and then, Sharp. I gotta
Okay.
do that.
Hey, Jesse, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're a good man.
And you're
Okay.
you're going to cost me a lot of gas money now that you're back on the call for basketball, because I'm one of them guys like
Let
to
me-
drive around and listen to the game.
Oh,
I'll
why don't
send you a bill.
You live across the street from Baxter.
Well, that's true, but
You can use the radio app, Jesse, and then like put your headphones
Yeah.
in. I
Oh,
do that.
Come on, are you kidding? The radio app? I don't go.
Okay, now, this is okay. Hey, be good, my man.
All right, see you guys later. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank
That is the legendary Jesse Cuevas. So yeah, Mike Brown, who works for the Storm Chasers out at Warner Park, the home clubhouse manager, got honored, and rightfully so. But he started as a bat boy, and he's done, what he's been an assistant. So Jim Bailey, who passed away, who was a staple at Rosenblatt and then over at Omaha North. He kind of worked with him. But yeah, Mike started as a bat boy in 27 years ago, and now has worked his way up. And he's been the worked out at Warner Park since I think he's been there since the start. But he went from Rosenblatt all the
That's
way out to
awesome.
Warner Park. He's
Eric
the home
did call
clubhouse
that.
manager.
We need to.
All right.
We need, by the way, to cut that out of. Hey, you're helping that young man, and then we need to find something really stupid that I've said in the past and just kind of mend those together, and that'd be a great promo.
You ever met
for the
Jesse?
show. I haven't met Jesse. No,
We're neighbors.
we've talked about Jesse before.
Yeah.
I knew who he
The
was.
great Jesse Cuevas.
You respect the legends of Omaha. He's one of them.
Got the best looking lawn in Omaha.
I mean, you got to, right? Which, by the way,
He's always out there. He's always out there. Whenever I'm driving home, he's always out there mowing the lawn or blowing leaves or something. I mean, if I lived next to him, I would move.
By the way, real quick,
Yeah.
like the fact that you have to have a turf grass degree. I mean, does the years and years of experience that man has had putting together all of the turf grass experience he has, is that not enough? I need a piece of paper to tell you that Jesse's good enough to work. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
You should grandfather those people in.
That's a big business, man. You're a
I
AAA groundskeeper.
Mhm.
You make a lot of money.
I do
You have a lot of
job.
demands.
You know what? I took an
and also, it's a terrible job.
I took an agricultural class in the University of Nebraska. It's the favorite class I ever took. And we had a turf grass section. We had a turf grass
Yeah.
lesson. And they talked about the program they have in Nebraska, the PGA turf grass
Mhm.
degree that you can get. It was so cool. Just like the different grains and like how you have to grow them, how you have to treat them. Like this grass does great here. This turf does great here. Like depending on like how you have to control different temperatures and whatnot. It is so like I'm a city slicker. So I'm like, oh, it's
Mm.
grass, it's water, it grows. And then you take a class like that and you're like, oh my God, this is
So,
insane.
so Jared down in Lincoln, who is in charge of the agronomy and sports turf
Yeah.
part of that university, he was the one that led the converting the stadium into the blackout.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
with the turf they did.
That's awesome.
All right, here is Eric. Thanks for calling back, Eric. Good morning.
Hey guys, I wanted to get in on the Denver Broncos conversation since I'm one of the few Denver Broncos fans in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, no. There's a
There's
lot of
plenty.
Bronco fans here.
No, there isn't.
Shout out Cam. That's my friend. He's a
The,
Broncos.
the,
Don,
the Joker will
morning.
get his due in a couple of months, okay? The only thing we'd be talking about right now is
All right.
the Denver defense is going to take out KC on Sunday, okay?
All
So-
right.
That's the biggest thing that we're working in Denver right now about. But also, I wanted to let you guys know, Yvonne DiCarlo, Munsters all the way. Thanks, guys.
All right. Yes. Now, Denver does have a better pass rush than in Kansas City. They meet in Denver this weekend. Chiefs got to win. Chiefs lose. They're about 4.5
Chiefs are-
games back.
Chiefs are going to win. You just have to make sure
Denver's
that
5-0 at home.
just bottle up J.K. Dobbins. If you just
Hmm.
stop that run, Bo Nix is not going to beat you. You're going to be totally fine.
Denver might be under the most pressure to win this weekend. because then people go, "Uh-oh, here comes Kansas City."
Well, another
Yes,
thing
America
too
will
is
be
that,
behind them. So
yes,
it's-
yes, Denver has a great pass rush, but is there a more equipped team in the NFL to just get the ball out quickly to their really fast guys on the outside in Kansas City? Nope, I don't think so.
I think it's great that they scheduled this so that Kansas City could come off a bye, where Andy Reid is really, really good since he became the head coach of the Chiefs. But they're 17-5
Wow,
straight up after a bye week since
He'll have a
Andy
good
Reid's been
plan.
the head coach.
that's a great stat. That would be awesome.
I'm surprised
Zach.
this isn't a primetime game.
right.
But
I-
the
Dude,
the
slate
3
this
o'clock
week is-
window on Sunday is really, really good in the NFL.
Better than last week's stinker.
Oh my God,
Mm.
those were absolute
All right.
stinkers.
Here is we're doing everything this morning.
Yeah.
Here is
Whoa!
what did
you want to talk hockey?
which NHL college
He didn't
big
specify.
series this weekend for the Mavs. They go north to
That's kind of what
Minnesota
I was
Duluth.
thinking. Maybe it would be the Mavs.
All right, so I have a question here.
Oh, he didn't want to talk about Connor Bedard and his goal last night.
You never know.
Maybe you want to talk about Nathan McKinnon.
Well, he's also having an incredible year.
He is.
Got the MVP right now.
So with the discussion the other day, and we'll get into a little bit more of it about Rule and talking about money and the expectations. I think if you want to look down the road and say, all right, Nebraska football is humming, there better be a national pregame show on campus in Lincoln, Nebraska next year for the Ohio State game.
Yes.
It'd be even better if there were two. Probably that game is a big noon game. But there, if you want to look down the road and say, okay, Rule, let's see what you're doing here. Nebraska, Ohio State, and Lincoln next year better get the attention. By the way, Ohio State's schedule next year.
Okay, give it to me.
Now, remember, this was kind of going to be their bridge year.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Jeremiah Smith that gets to come back for another year.
That's
There's a guy
so
named Sayin
stupid.
that'll be coming back for next year. Ohio State's schedule next year at Texas, at Indiana, at Iowa, at Nebraska,
Oh my God.
Michigan, Oregon at home, at USC.
My Lord.
That's Ohio State's schedule next year. But the game in Lincoln, if you are judging where Nebraska football is in year 4, that game better have game day or the Fox pregame show on campus, even more so if it is 2. So take out the comments he made on Monday because I'm looking at money and Nebraska saying they're going to be a player in the portal. And, there's this investment that's coming and,
Mhm.
you're going to have a little bit extra money in the coffers, but we don't know when that is going to kick in. Not only having money, but also having a plan. Because I was thinking about this last night.
Okay.
If you look at mo money, mo problems, and Rule knows you got to spend money, but he liked to spend money on his current roster than acquiring.
Mhm.
But you got to acquire some guys. And this just isn't Nebraska. There's going to be other schools. Do people realize that Florida, Penn State, and LSU will not be able to haul in high school recruits? So they're going to go heavy in the portal beginning January 2nd. There's going to be a lot of players out there with a lot of money. If
Yeah.
I'm a portal guy, there's going to be some portal guy that is going to get so much more money than what they really are worth. And they're going to go to a school and the expectations are going to be through the roof because they spent a lot of money on him. And he's just going to be exactly what he was at his previous school. So not only having a lot of money, but I think Nebraska and other schools in their position are going to have plans. That's
Sure.
why they should be tampering right now. Because look at the players of places that are hiring coaches late that they're not going to bring in a high school heavy class.
Yeah.
Because guys have already flipped and, so you're going to say, first year, I guess we got to go big time portal. There's going to be some big names that are out there with big suitcases. So Nebraska's going to have a really, really aggressive plan. And that's why they got to keep momentum going to ride this out for the remainder of the regular season and then have a good December with a high school
Sure.
class, whatever they do. And they're probably more in the flipping than getting a new one. January 2nd to the 16th of the teams that are going to be players because of new coaches. Wow. Watch out.
How would you feel if they zigged where people were zagging?
What do you mean?
So you bring up a great point. You're going to have coaches that come in and part of the reason they're going to take jobs is because these jobs are going to say, hey, we have this big old bag of money for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come in. The expectations are going to be high. And to your point, they're going to go ahead and they're going to get all the players that are currently in the transfer portal pool. And then you'll have top teams that can't necessarily bring on the top high school prospects that they are typically taking on, which means that there are more high school players to pick from, and there's less competitions for some highly touted prospects. I'm not saying take the entire budget, right, and spend it in high school kids, but I do think that if Nebraska is in a situation where they say, to your point, right, this guy's overpriced, I wouldn't mind if Nebraska says, you know what, instead of overpaying $2 million for a guy like this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this $2 million and we're going to break it up, and we're going to go and give ourselves a shot to get maybe higher level high school prospects that maybe we couldn't afford to get in the past, that we're going to have less competition to get because everybody else is spending their money in the transfer portal pool. I don't think that would be a bad. Now, I would prefer them to spend it in the transfer portal because this team is already young. And this team is already
91 underclassmen.
Yes. And this team already kind of needs some specific pieces, some veteran pieces, some guys that you can plug and play. So I would prefer them to spend in the transfer portal. But if they get themselves into a situation of like, hey, this market is way too bullish for us, I don't think it'd be a bad move at all to take advantage of that and go somewhere else and try and get some more talented high school players. I don't think that'd be a bad strategy.
But don't they have to on November 13th? If we're sitting here on November 13th, next year, 2026, and Nebraska is not showing up close to the playoff bracket or in the playoff bracket, and there's something wrong.
Yes. Nebraska, to me, the peak of Matt Rule here at Nebraska is consistently being in that 10 to 20 range of you're in the playoff or you're just outside of the playoff. And you are always like these Novembers always matter. Yeah. It always comes down to, hey, you got to win that game against Iowa if you're going to make it.
Well, they're a bit away from, in my opinion, of being labeled how you judge your season, playoff or bust. I know Eli Drinkwitz talked about that. There's probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 teams in college football that on the regular now, if you don't make the playoff, your season is a bust. I think that is very, very small. And Nebraska is a way away from that until you start getting into it. I mean, this is a playoff or bust discussion with Nebraska as a decade. I mean, you can't. We'll say it now, and I'll check back in a decade when I'm retired. But next year at this time, because Rule, we've said, well, hey, the window is open for Dylan. Well, I mean, maybe added an extra year of the window being open with somebody else that's being your quarterback. But I think when he stood at the podium on Monday, he raised the expectations for next year.
Yes.
He elevated the expectations. And he once again did something that he did when he signed his extension to stay and not pursue Penn State, them not pursuing him, but him going, hey, I kind of like that job. And they go, okay, let's talk. He bet on himself because he put it out there for people to hear, but also internally and with the fan base, you go, okay, if you're talking about money to spend, you better go spend good money. And with that money, if you have money that now gets you into playing with the big boys, then those big boys like Texas Tech and Indiana and Ohio State and Texas, it's November 13th and they're being mentioned as playoff teams.
I don't want to.
He bet on himself again.
I don't want a coach that's scared. I don't want a coach that doesn't want to tell you how much money he's got to operate with because he's afraid that you're going to judge him. I don't want that. I want a coach that's like, yeah, we're good. We're good at what we do. We're going to go ahead and spend this money. We're going ahead and get better players. But that's
he bet on himself again. Yeah. So he put it out there, and I think if you're saying, because I gotta sit this in the next hour, because Donnie was talking about Elijah Pritchett last night and the money and the expectations that come with the rumors of how much was paid when you're acquired, and if you live up to those. I'm like, the guy played at Alabama last year.
Yeah,
is as a coach, if you say we've got resources, you have increased the expectations then to what you do January 2nd through January 16th. Now, there's still some issues that money can't change, and that's some in-game stuff.
Sure.
But I think he stood there on Monday, bet on himself, told you, I'm raising the expectations by my words, and you guys should follow. And I think we should.
And I think it was phenomenal promotion by him as well. Like if you're a guy that Nebraska went after in the past and maybe the money didn't work out, but you wanted to go to Nebraska and now you hear that they got that bag, aren't you kind of like, okay, cool. Like if they got the money, now I'm back interested. Or if you're just a Power 5 player and you're like, oh, Nebraska has money. Okay, let me do a little research on them. I thought it was a great getting the word out to prospects of like, hey, y'all, we're coming after you. We got enough to get you.
All right, Sip and Brian Edwards in the last hour of Thursday edition of Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. All right, I'm going to need a moment here. Jimmy, you saw this tweet from Nebraska basketball.
I know. Surprised you didn't go have a cigarette. You don't even smoke.
Are they wearing the throwbacks to the 96 threads in Sioux Falls?
That's what I would imagine is the case, because why would they release it now? Just go all in and wear it
Yeah,
for
it
the
says-
Creighton game
It
too.
says Saturday's threads.
Beautiful, sweet
look at that.
bastards.
Oh my.
Look at the side pattern is awesome.
It was an awesome time, Matt.
Oh my lord.
Hey,
They should just make these the regular jerseys.
You listening, Denver Broncos? Throwbacks. Stick with them. Seahawks.
Gary, isn't that infinitely better than what they currently wear?
uh,
I'm not hating on their current jerseys.
Nebraska basketball wears a lot of different uniforms.
That's what I'm
They
trying to
keep
think.
Pat Norris very, very busy there in the equipment office. It seems like every game they wear something different. But these are their throwbacks to 96. So they are wearing them in Sioux Falls on Saturday against Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's for Saturday.
Damn, I might drive up there.
Pat Norris, really good.
Be
softball
70
pitcher.
something.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Um,
good softball pitcher.
Do you think if you had to do a line, the 95-96 team against the 25-26 team, how big a favorite would the 95-96 Huskers be?
Probably 9.5.
I like
It
that.
might be more.
Yeah.
That team was pretty good.
Yeah.
We'd have to get Teron Lue as a freshman.
Mhm.
He'd be back here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to de-age
You got
Teron Lue
Strick.
by
You
30
got
years.
Strick and Boone.
Mhm.
That was a fun team.
Mm.
That was the Bernard Garner.
It's the last
My-
year of the Big Eight.
Hey, my favorite Bernard Garner story. So back in that time period, periodically I get to travel with the men's basketball team, fill into a game. Come back from road trip. The buses were not at the Lincoln Municipal Airport.
Okay.
So people were trying to figure out how we're going to get back to campus. Bernard Garner went out into the parking lot and he was going to see if there was a car available.
You can't. You
Like a rental car.
What, Bernard wanted to steal a car?
He just was going to go. He was going to go get some transportation.
Borrow.
Did
Not
he
steal.
get transportation?
No,
Okay.
he came back in.
But he just said, "Hey, y'all, I'm going out to go and get a couple cars."
He
for
was
us."
not happy that we were sitting around the Lincoln Municipal Airport
Cool.
waiting on how to get, because then they, like Nick Joes, who was the director of operations at the time, he's like, no, he wasn't director of operations. He was at sports information with, and he was the basketball contact. Was trying to figure out, could you get vans?
Yeah.
Like, or could people in cars just come pick people up?
What happened to the
So you
buses?
could have borrowed a van. They didn't
Hey,
show up.
can you imagine? Hey, can you have your buddy Louie come pick us up? We got Mikey Moore and Vincent Hamilton on this team. They'll fit into a nice Subaru.
Can you imagine if that
Mikey
happened to the
Moore,
current
former Clipper?
Nebraska
Hey,
football
that
roster?
team, that team actually, man, they had so much talent. Vincent Hamilton, very underrated career. So was Mikey Moore.
You
That was,
imagine
that was good. 95-96 was a good team. Those are good looking threads.
that happened to the
It's a good year.
the
Nebraska
20
by 40.
the 2025 the current iteration of Nebraska football. If that happened, Dylan shows up to the Unity Walk in a Toyota Camry. Yeah, we got Emmett
Good gas
coming. He's in a
mileage.
Hyundai Sonata. He's on his way.
Really good gas mileage.
Got a couple guys who live in the bottoms. They were able to all pick us up. I think the O-line's coming in a bunch of Ford F-150s.
Tom Wald.
Now I got you reminiscing about the 90s Nebraska basketball teams. This is great. You are fully husked right now.
That
Totally
was
get it.
That was a fun team. Badge. Terrence, who lives here, is back here in Omaha. Markowski was on that team. Chester Searles was on that team for just a little bit. Chester Searles' greatest claim to fame. You know what it is?
No.
Lincoln Journal-Star. Same day that Nebraska beats Florida in the Fiesta Bowl, he got into a little bit of trouble off the court. So the Journal-Star has everybody, buys the front page of the paper after a game like that.
Sure.
So they have the full front page, and then there's this little corner up there of Chester Searles' shot of not his mug shot, but a basketball, and it's like Nebraska basketball player gets in trouble. I'm like, really?
It's like, we all got in trouble that night.
On the page that everybody is going to buy, that Journal-Star, because it was a picture of Tommy Frazier.
Yeah, they did him dirty.
I got
Isn't
they got
that
Chester
cool?
Searles up in the
Wait,
corner.
wait, I got to find this.
Yeah. That was a fun team. 95-96 was a fun team. All right. Sipple was around for that, among other things. But we have much to talk about with Sip on the bye week, where Nebraska is a 7.5-point underdog in the look-ahead line on DraftKings this morning.
That's going to go all the way down. Honestly, to your point, what you made yesterday, if Penn State ends up losing that Michigan State game, Nebraska is going to be favored for sure by multiple points. It won't be just 1.5. Probably be like 3.5.
Sounds reasonable.
If Penn State loses, yeah.
Glock was on that team. Chris Salee. There was some guy that was Chad Ideas from Adams.
I'm now trying to look at this.
I think I've rattled off the whole roster. I'm out of guys on the 95, 96 team.
That's not on the front page.
All right. Last hour upcoming. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the LJS thing. I'm trying to see if the Chester Searles thing.
Right, you go into people's man cave and they have it framed and they're like, hey, Chester. Yeah. Bill Byrne was livid that day. He got a call at the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe. He was like,
was Bill Byrne livid at the Lincoln Journal Star?
No. That
Okay.
Chester got into a little bit of trouble.
Jeez.
All right. We're back with more. Again, Steve Sipple will join us here in about 15 minutes on Gary and Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Week 10 of the fourth quarter pick'em is officially open. Make your picks now to get a piece of the prize. You can play at 1620thezone.com.
Congratulations to Tom. He came in and got his big check after we were gone yesterday. So thank you. Tom's listening out there. If Tom owes you money, he's got a little extra cash now.
A little, not like it's not like he's got $25,000.
Matt, we need to make our picks.
We do have to make our picks.
Yeah, they're supposed to be done at 9. So good luck, boys.
We got time.
Oh,
We got time.
okay.
What are they going to do? Now, I made my picks on Friday last week.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that's considerate.
Yeah. I'm doing it
Just
right
kinda
now
feel
because
bad.
I feel bad.
You want to make them together, Jimmy? I'm
already making them.
You make it. Never mind. I can make that joke. This is a good Shane Gillis joke.
A-lister, right?
Yeah. I'll never get. Apparently, that was a road that I really regretted going down. I should have never have gone down. I didn't think it was a bad take. But to be fair, I've learned that a lot of the times I don't think some of my takes are bad until I'm told they're awful. So that's just been a part of the learning process. Like Jesse said, thank you for helping out the young man.
David writes into the Equitable Bank inbox. You guys are forgetting something.
Oh.
It doesn't matter how much money you have to spend. The top players want to play in the NFL. If they don't think they're going to be developed in NFL prospects, they won't go to Nebraska until Nebraska proves they can get kids in the NFL, and they'll be fighting a losing battle.
I think that if we're talking about like the winning in the margins, yeah, that's a margin battle for sure, right? If Georgia's offering a kid $1 million and Nebraska's offering a kid $1 million, it definitely pays off that Georgia has one more, and Georgia could say, look at all the guys we've sent to the NFL from your position. But if Nebraska's offering a kid 1.3 million and Georgia's offering a kid 1 million, the guy's probably going to end up coming to Nebraska. So I mean, we are getting to the point where all that stuff that used to be very important is now it's razor, like those are like the razor thin margins. But the most important thing now is just money. How much do you have, and how much are you giving to the kid?
It's yes, but you got to be comfortable with kids are only coming because of the money. You have to have something behind it.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know, like the Texas Tech experiment. Yeah, they don't really, they do have a history behind it. They also, Patrick Mahomes is doing a lot for them. That's the Pied Piper for Nebraska, on campus or off campus. That's what Trey Taylor is doing, putting together the high school class in 27.
Yeah.
You need that Pied Piper either in the NFL that is pretty well known, that they reference your school over and over. I mean, Will Compton can only do so much. He's not wearing pads on Sundays.
Well, he's also
Levante David is not out there talking to the media, and people immediately go, "Oh, Nebraska." Sue, now that he's retired, they also need that Pied Piper on campus. That's why the Emmett Johnson story you could sell.
Yeah,
and you'd love to have him back, but you'd also like him to go into the draft that you could go, "Hey, look what we did with Emmett. Emmett comes here."
Sure.
So David is right, but also winning. Kids also like to be attracted to winning. They like to get the cash. They like to win, but they also, probably also want to know that you're going to take care of them and you got a path for them. That's why if you win a big battle that involves a high price tag, that person comes here and has success. I mean, if we say Pritchett cost Nebraska $1.2 million, do you think Nebraska's gotten the return on investment?
No. Well, I see. It's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to say, Gary, because it's just like I don't know what the market is, right? Like if a top,
I would imagine that the market is let's say 1.2 to let's say 1.7 for offensive tackles with experience at the Power 4 level that are looking for a fresh start.
Considering the fact that Pritchett is going to end up starting the next 3 games of the season, he'll be a starter for majority of the season. Then yeah, sure, they got their ROI on that. Did they get their ROI on him being a former 5-star? No, but
is expected back next year.
Yeah,
has the ability to come back next year. I don't know what he wants to do, but I don't. I think I would come back.
Yeah, if we're basing it off of that now, like I don't think 1.2 million is getting your top of the market tackle, right? And he hasn't been playing as the top of the market tackle, but yeah, he's been fine. He's been good. He's been okay. But I think for every story you tell about Texas Tech, right, there's also LSU where they go ahead and they bought their entire defense last season, and they won. They won the portal cycle to a lot of people, and they ended up firing their head coach. So. And also, too, like I like what you bring up with the whole, you don't want to bring in a kid just for money, because if we're talking about the strengths of Nebraska football from the outside looking in, I would say one of the strengths is culture. I like you say all the time, they're a good bounce back team. What does that stem from? That stems from them having a good culture, them being confident in their ability to come back and win games after tough things happen. You don't want to just bring in a dude who's then going to peacock his chest and be like, oh, I'm making all this money and I'm the guy and I'm here to save you. And no, that screw things up. You don't want to do that either.
So, again, we'll save a little bit more of the Pritchett conversation that was on the radio last night on the Nebraska Sports Network for SIP about Pritchett. But if you're looking at building, you got to build in the trenches. We all have wish lists. We did this yesterday, and we were talking defensive line, offensive tackle. Is look at the makeup. There are 4 offensive lines that are in the semifinalists of the Joe Moore Award.
Okay,
which Rocco Spindler mentioned back in August, and people went. Some people were like, "Oh,
yeah,
a little bit more cautious." Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Oregon are 4 of the finalists.
Okay.
Look at how their offensive lines were built. Iowa's is pretty much homegrown.
I was going to say, off the top of my head, Iowa would be homegrown.
Michigan is homegrown.
But they're not afraid
Oregon's
to add...
is not
not
full grown because they got a guy that Nebraska desperately wanted to tackle that ended up there. Indiana's, I think, is a little bit of both. So really Iowa and Michigan, which, again, schools that offensive line, it's year after year after year, homegrown. Indiana, Oregon's trying to get to where they can be homegrown, but they've got to fill in the pieces.
Well, with Indiana, it's almost at the point, though, where some of these guys that they brought over from years previous have kind of become homegrown in a way. Like once you've been there for 2 years, you're no longer a product of your old school. You're a product of where you're at. But they lost their center, and I think they lost a left guard too, and so they had to go and grab it. I think that, look, to me, I don't think there's one way of doing a certain position group anymore. I don't think it's like you have to homegrown, you have to develop your own D lineman, or you have to develop your own offensive lineman, or you have to develop your own quarterback. I think that now with the portal and just the access of money, it's just do what makes the most sense for you, right? If you're a team and you're really good at developing wide receivers, don't spend money in the portal in the wide receivers. Go ahead, spend a little less money in high school and trust yourself to develop those guys. If you don't think you have to know yourself too. You have to know, hey, we're not that great at developing defensive tackles. We got to go ahead and we got to buy. We got to go ahead and we got to buy them. We got to go and get them.
I think you have money to fix that, to find a better defensive tackle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that as well. I mean, but you have to go ahead and I've always said this, like, money is great. Money is fine. Go ahead and buying players.
No money, no problems.
It's all fine and dandy. But it really, this whole process comes down to self-scouting. It just really comes down to knowing what you have to begin and then addressing all of your problems. If you don't truly know what you have, you're going to spend money in the wrong places, and you're still going to find yourself with holes that are going to allow you to lose games.
We may have an old friend alert in the Big Ten and recruiting. It appears that you remember the guy, CJ Brunau, who was the elite athlete at Florida that decommitted from Nebraska, ended up at Florida. Then they fired their coach, the 4-star cornerback. Looks like Ohio State is about to flip him.
Wow.
But that could mean good things for Nebraska, because I think Nebraska is going to be able to hold on to Danny Odom.
I was going to ask you about that. How's that looking?
Michigan and Ohio State came hard after him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before Napier had officially gotten fired.
Yeah.
But if Ohio State flips Brunau, then Nebraska, I think, is in still a pretty good position to hold on to Odom, which is a guy that should find his way onto the field in 2026.
Hold the line, brother. Hold the line. It'd be big. I mean, if they lost Odom, the 2026 recruiting class would be in a world of trouble.
It's not. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is the last. Nebraska's coming up on the last week that you could be out on the road, because they changed the recruiting calendar a little bit before signing day.
Mm-hmm.
And Nebraska's class is already going to be small. And the rankings aren't going to look good because of how small it is, because they're 17th in the Big Ten. Are they going? And by now, it's like nobody you're really waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of you'd be flipping them.
Sure.
You've gotten in there after Penn State. They got more 27 attention than 26. But to hold on to him at the top of that class, to get a guy like that at that position to play in the Big Ten at cornerback that's 6'2", 180.
Yeah.
because I don't like small cornerbacks. I like 6'2", 6'3" is
Perfect.
our ideal size.
Length.
That would be vitally important.
Well, on top of that too, I got really pissed off during the whole Matt Rule extension talk when all of these aggregators were like, "Oh my God, why would they extend him? They have the worst recruiting class right now in the Big Ten. The wheels are falling off in Nebraska." I mean, it's what's the number 91 underclassmen at this point. I mean, you wish that the quality of the 2026 class would be higher. I mean, that's just plain and simple. Like you only got 12 guys, but you wish like 4 or 5 of them would have been blue chip prospects as opposed to what Odom's one is there, or is it there's 2, right? On the 2026 recruiting class? Like how many 4-stars are there?
Some places have Luke Sorensen.
Okay. Like, but it all really boils down to the 2027 recruiting class at this point. And if the potential Gatorade player in the year in Illinois can continue rounding up prospects for you and keep tweeting at guys.
I actually think that it comes down to the guys that are on campus.
Of stepping up and playing better? Yeah.
And Puma is another one.
Okay.
So those are the 2 4-stars on the composite. Why does ESPN still do recruiting?
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Stick to basketball.
Let's stick to-
Basketball recruiting, they're pretty good.
Or
college football or high school football recruiting? Nah.
Didn't they change like they have the 4-star plus, like they changed their equation. They used to like do all the things equally, and now they've taken some away
What
from
they changed is
ESPN.
they got rid of some really good people that were doing recruiting for ESPN. That's what changed.
Yeah. Well, they probably went to On3. They probably went to all these other places that are doing great work.
That's true. Steve Sipple went to On3.
Good transition. He's very good at his job. He's got a great truck.
Because he went to On3?
I don't know, but he's got an awesome pickup truck. I'm a big fan of his pickup truck.
Okay.
I just see it rolling around when Sip and I would, for whatever reason, would just show up at the same time in the parking lot, like in the upstairs parking lot. We were always getting out of cars at the same time.
New vehicle idea for you? Mm-hmm.
What?
A pickup truck?
No, I like my vehicle.
Oh.
And I don't have to. I don't have a car note, so that's great. Pretty great.
Sip joins us next on 1620 The Zone. All right. Our next guest, actually, I believe, has been to a Wings concert before. He joins us now from On 3, 93.7 The Ticket, Husker Online, everything else that Stephen M. Sipple does. Good morning, Sip.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Doing. You have any silly love songs that you're just bouncing around in that noggin of yours?
There's a Glenn Fry song, a love song.
Okay.
It's one of the if you could probably figure it out. Glenn Fry sings the best love song I think I've ever heard.
What was your first dance song
Heat
with
is
your
on.
lovely wife?
Well, I'm sorry,
You're-
I'm divorced.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. But when you did marry, when you did get married, when you got married,
get along. We're getting along better now. But no, there's a lot of love songs
That's
that are
good.
figured into my life for various reasons. But I don't know. The Glenn Fry one came to mind.
but I'm saying when it happened, what did you dance to at your wedding?
The one you love.
I can't. I don't think we did. We had an outside wedding. We didn't even do that music thing.
Oh,
We're
man.
outside.
That was then it was. It should have told you everything you need to know where that marriage was going, Sip.
Jeez,
But you're
Ken.
happier
we're
and she's
fine.
happier.
And Trix is she's an amazing woman. We
I've met
actually
her.
get along better now, so it's
Yeah.
good. So
I'm sorry
the
for
one
bringing
you
up
love,
the
the
past.
one you love is like about as good as it gets as far as
Yeah.
love songs go.
You know what? And this is the thing. Okay, so let's just do this interview off of that song because I agree with you. That is a really, really good song. I know that at times Matt Rule needs a friend. He needs someone he can talk to, and he does that on Mondays. He always, man, he was feeling himself, Sip, on Monday. Post Rose Bowl, post Latif, post Emmett, 7-3 bye week. I'm staying here. Come help me build this. I'm not going anywhere. So he was feeling himself, but he always drops little hints and little things. One of the things that I thought that he dropped, we'll be curious when we get to the end of the season, because we're in silly season where there's some really good jobs out there that need head coaches. And those head coaches are going to have to build their staff. Do you think that there are some guys on this staff, maybe guys that have strong Florida connections, that Nebraska will have to hold on to keep the staff together?
It's a really astute question because he did make it pretty clear that he wants the staff to remain intact as is, right? He did work that into the conversation, and it wasn't asked about it. Ooh, that's a good point. And by the way, really strong knowledge of the nature of that Glenn Fry song by you. Wow. But that's you know your music really well.
He does.
Anywho, yeah, that I do think. I mean, one of my big takeaways from that press conference in a low key way was that he wants to keep the staff together. It sounded like, and yeah, there would be some guys that would be it. I mean, come on, just think about Eckler right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eckler, some SEC team trying to poach Eckler. Eckler's he's one of the best special teams coaches in the country. He did it at Tennessee in the SEC. Then he came here and in his own kind of way, in the background way, said, well, I'm going to turn it around. And he did. Yeah, that would be one guy for sure. And there's probably others.
I mean, Addison Williams would be a guy that's got a connection to the South and has been in the SEC. He was at Auburn. He has been in the state of Florida. I mean, Nebraska really likes him. The DBs really like Coach Williams.
Yeah, that's a great one. And I'm glad you mentioned Addison Williams because he's the sort of the personality-wise antithesis of Eckler. And I like corner. He's a secondary coach, but I like corners coaches who are very even keel. The position is it can be so volatile. You know, you get beat and it's a big deal. And it's nice to have a reassuring, quiet type of coach on the sideline, in my opinion. I've always felt that. And Rule has voiced that, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Addison Williams will never toot his own horn, so to speak, but he's done an excellent job back there with help. I mean, he works for a defensive coordinator who's a DB's coach, which I'm sure that helps.
How important is Pat Stewart?
Oh, he's immensely important. I mean, he can't remember, guys. He came on late,
Mm-hmm.
right? He came on probably too late. I mean, that hire should have been made, last fall. So he was ready for the portal period last winter, but he came afterwards. So we really haven't. This is the first time this portal go round that we'll be able to sort of assess him in a more meaningful way. Just because, January 2 to 16, January 2nd to January 16th is going to be an immensely important and fascinating period for a lot of teams. But Nebraska's coach set the stage for that in his realm on Monday when he said, all those things about NIL. We can go get anybody we want now. And let's face it, Nebraska's got to go get some guys, especially when you think about next year's schedule and how it ramps up.
Well, and you do the timing. People are going to wonder, hey, what's going to happen at quarterback? And January 2nd will be here before you know it. But Nebraska could be playing on December 30th or December 31st. So there could be guys playing that have knowledge that in 2 days, they're going to be peace, I'm out. Should be very awkward.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes into those conversations, and the GM's in the middle of all of that. And, I mean, he's got to have obviously a strong sense of the roster, but also those conversations with kids and their families. That's a lot of that's the GM. So it's an immensely important position.
Latif Saturday night, did he create a quarterback conversation at Nebraska or a controversy?
Right now it's a conversation. I think everything, the way I put it, it gets real if he goes 2-1 or 3-0. I mean, I should say 3-0 or 2-1. He's 1-0. If he gets to 2-1 or 3-0, then I think then it's people are going to have decisions to make, tougher decisions, in my estimation. As far as just Nebraska's concerned, I mean, I don't know what that'll look like, but I'm not worried about it right now. We saw a sampling, and it was very strong and created a lot. I think it made imaginations run sort of wild, and now we're going to see him against. I mean, just think of it this way: we saw him against, is it Kevin Coyle? A guy, a very forgettable defensive coordinator in the history of college and NFL football. Now we're
family's not listening.
It's kind of
Jim Knowles and Phil Parker.
Yep.
I mean, the world's going to change quite a bit.
Steve, I thought that Dana called his best game of the season, and I thought that the play calling just made sense. I don't know. It's hard you can't really put it to numbers or anything other than you just kind of see how the plays progress one another, and you're like, all right, this makes a lot of sense. The sequence makes sense. Why do you think it seemed easier for him to have better sequences of plays with TJ than with Dylan?
It's pretty simple to me. There's guys running open, and that hasn't always been the case this year. There were guys running open, and Latif hit him, and he did good. He was poised, and I'm not discrediting anything Nebraska did or Latif did, but UCLA was the worst third down defense in America.
Yeah.
And they were, what were they overall? 124th.
Yep.
And I'm not, again, I don't, now it sounds like I'm full-fledged discrediting the Triumph and what Latif did. I'm not, but there were guys running open, and that helps. And you know what? It's one of the rare times this year we saw Nebraska get in a rhythm. They were in rhythm much of the time. So I think you give Latif a lot of credit, but I do think you got to factor in the opponent. That's why, now listen, Penn State's not played great defense. They're 83rd in the country in run defense. They're not doing anything. I don't think in any category except, I'm trying to go off memory, I think maybe they're 17th in pass defense. But they're not a top 25 defense. Now, Iowa, on the other hand, is a top 10 defense in most every meaningful category. The big ones: total defense, scoring defense, rush defense. They're strong, or maybe not rushing, but pass defense. They're not bad in rush defense. So that's not UCLA. Not only is UCLA not very good, I don't think they showed up to play. I mean, they didn't look all that engaged from the jump. So you got to put everything in that context. But yeah, they got in a rhythm. Nebraska got in a rhythm,
and they executed. I mean, that was high execution throughout that
they
game.
Did.
Yep.
They did. He put balls on the money, and Emmett does his thing. Emmett really helps the entire conversation.
I wasn't going to ask you about him, but are you just, because I'm operating that we get 3 more times to watch 21 play running back. Are you operating the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It would be nice. I know. I mean, I don't only say be nice if he'd be back. I think for his sake that he should be all in on going to the NFL. And I hope he does. I hope he makes it to the NFL. And then, Nebraska will have to adjust accordingly. But I think that's what Rule would say. I think Rule wants that kid to get to the NFL, and that this will be his best chance.
And he helps you recruit the next Emmett Johnson, whether out of the portal or on your own roster, or that's in high school. Last night, Donnie was on the coach's show, and he talked about basically all of his offensive linemen and talked a lot about their culture. And then he kind of told you everything that we've heard about Pritchett, about it took him a while to adjust. They were hard on him. He was not doing himself favors. And then he finally came around and started to buy in, and we've seen him play more of a consistent brand of football. But they were talking about the money and expectations that come with what is perceived as a high dollar acquisition. Is there more pressure at Nebraska when you get paid $1 million, maybe more, or Alabama where you were starting playing at Alabama?
That's probably pretty close. And I hate, you know me, Gary. I don't like to throw a blanket over stuff like that. It just depends on the individual. Most of those kind of questions. I don't know his makeup. Some players, some people in general handle those type of conversations better than others. Those situations. There's a maturity component to it, and as you know, people mature at different rates.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know where he'd feel more pressure. And some guys would feel pressure at Troy. I mean, there's just some guys just feel pressure, and it's not even bad. They just feel immense pressure, whether they're making, $30,000 or $1.3 million. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer it. I just think you can't. I've just learned you don't throw a blanket over those things. It just depends on the individual.
Yeah, and you're right to do that. I'm with you, because he may have some things that are going on at home that stunted his, having a good summer and then on into August. But do you hear from people you interact with when, you, Robin and Sean talking, or on the boards or on your own show, that the expectations for certain players have changed because of what we perceive they're being paid? And we don't know what they're exactly being paid?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It affects outside expectation. And for Pritchett, it certainly does. It's sort of it's stock, though, a stock conversation in that he's a left tackle. I mean, he's a left tackle transfer from Alabama. He's making money. There's no way. I mean, he's making money. He's a millionaire. And that, so yeah, there are, I think that I think there should be a certain expectation for him. Now you ask me how he handles it, I don't know, but I'm not going to say there shouldn't be an expectation. There should be. Here's the thing about Pritchett. I'm really starting to like Pritchett. Pritchett's good. Pritchett in the last 6 games, I'd say, is starting to look like what you would expect. And I appreciate it. I've learned that these guys don't all belong at the same rate. And and maybe he's taking a little bit longer for whatever reason. But I know when he walks out there, it looks really good. And I know he's not having a lot of problems right now. In fact, if I were running that show there, God forbid, I would get a bookend. I'd try to get another Pritchett and stick him on the right side. Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
And then move Gatula to guard?
Yeah. Move Gatula to guard. You have Evans back, and you gotta go get another guard probably, or Mischak is an option. They got some options in the program. You don't necessarily have to go get a guard, but I would definitely try to get another Pritchett-like tackle and pay big money for him.
Look, your eyes don't deceive you. Gary and I were looking at the numbers literally before we started talking to you. He's given up 1 sack and 2 hurries in his last 4 games, which is mightily improved from giving up 3 sacks and a bunch of other pressures before that. I do want to stick on the offensive line, Steve, because, and you've been following this, since Donovan, you've been following the team, obviously, since Donovan Raiola became the offensive line coach. The last couple of games, the USC game, the UCLA game, the Northwestern game, this offensive line has looked a lot better. And it's eerily similar to 2022 when that offensive line wasn't that great, but in the back half of the season, they got better. And last year, you could point out to the Wisconsin game, the USC game, that, hey, in the back half of the season, the offensive line improved. Why can't the offensive line come out hot out the box? Why does it have to be, in your opinion, a process where it takes them 7-8 games under Donovan Raiola to finally show, hey, this is what we thought you could have been the whole time?
I think back to those previous years, but this year I think what's happened as the season progressed was, I think, after the alarm bell rang at Minnesota, when we saw this very extreme circumstance, right? 9 sacks. It was so when there's extreme circumstance, then things change quickly, or guys lose their jobs, And I think there was an adjustment, and they started getting the ball out. They emphasized some things that maybe should have been emphasized. And some of it, Matt, had probably not a lot to do with the offensive line.
Sure.
Like simple as getting the ball out, emphasizing certain parts of the offense that maybe weren't emphasized. They started getting the ball out. I mean, a lot of it, and not having such long developing routes all the time, or changing progressions a little bit. Sometimes it's just tweaks, but we ran into the extreme. 7 sacks. Michigan had 7 sacks. How many did Michigan State have? I think there was a 5-sack game in there. It just got to be an inordinate number. And now that's when action has to happen, or the season goes off the rails and guys lose their jobs.
That's simple as that. Enjoy the bye week. Spend a little time outdoors, whatever else you're going to do, or maybe just sit on the couch and watch football.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. The weather's going to be so good. I want to watch that USC. Well, there's a good BTN doubleheader, USC Iowa and Nebraska basketball.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to do that.
You see any celebrities in LA?
Oh, did I? Now that you mention it, Jackie Robinson's wife and daughter
We're at the game.
were staying in the same hotel as us.
Oh, cool.
Because they live there in Pasadena, because their house was one of the ones that were affected by the fires. So she was sitting in the lobby one day. I had a feeling it was her, and then Sean ran into the daughter Sean Callahan ran into the daughter on the elevator. So that was pretty cool.
That's nice.
As far as like movie stars, now that you mention it, I did not see anybody.
Did you meet Bill Murray when he was in for the Northwestern game?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know he was here until Sunday.
Oh no, that would have been a
My
great
lack
combo
of
between you
awareness
two.
is starting to concern me. Yeah, there's a lot of things that get by me these days, it seems like.
Not everything, Shep. Hey, as always, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll talk next week before you head to Pennsylvania.
Great questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, by the
course
way,
you-
will you head to Pennsylvania for a night game?
Yeah, they go to Pennsylvania no matter what.
No, do you think it'll be a night game?
Oh,
Oh, I thought you meant if it's a night game, would it preclude you from
Oh,
going?
No, no.
I, I thought that was interesting. Yes, that's where I think that's where it's going.
Okay.
I do think
wait,
that.
Sip, real quick. Tampa or Nashville?
I'm sorry.
Tampa Bay or Nashville? Where would you rather want to go for, an event, let's say?
Oh, 100% Nashville. 100% Nashville.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, maybe it'll happen. Sip, thank you.
All right. God bless both of you.
Yeah, God bless you.
God bless.
Kind of trending towards a night game.
Are you seeing that on Twitter? Where you
Now, Penn
Dress
State
warm.
has wanted a night game.
that'd be really bad for Nebraska if it was a night game. Because then it would
Why?
because you would get back late from
Oh yes,
and then you got a short week.
To be
And then
fair
you
to
gotta-
the fans that are traveling.
Yeah, probably, but I don't care. Well, I mean, I care about the team and the team being prepared for Black Friday, and they're
They'll be
being well
prepared.
rested and
They'll
well
be ready.
prepared.
They're going to be on a chartered plane,
Yeah.
okay? They're going to be fine. They will
They're
they
well
will,
taken
they
care
will
of.
work it out.
They sleep on.
I'm talking about the fan.
It would be good for the fans.
I'm the voice of the fan. Up for the fan. This is not a good sports talk song to play,
I
even
know.
though we recited the
I
lyrics
know.
to this song.
I haven't heard
This is
this
a
in
good
forever.
slow first dance. You're dancing with your dad.
Your dad?
For the bride.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you.
That's what happens at weddings.
I thought you were. Well, I've only been.
May
to
happen
3
at
of them.
weddings that I'm not. Hey,
I mean, it happened to mine.
When was the last
Whatever.
wedding you went to?
Year ago.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were saying like me dancing with my dad at the wedding.
Well, I'm not going to judge.
Oh, but
Okay.
when you do get married, that's going to be such a station great deal. 1620, the wedding. We'll get it sponsored and everything.
That ain't happening for another decade.
Not with that attitude.
Okay, you're young and people aren't just you're just hanging out.
I ain't getting married
Okay,
to my 30s.
you're doing throuples.
I'm not doing. It's thruple, and I'm not doing them.
I like the
be fun.
throp. You
Why-
like the
yeah,
thrup.
that's a little aggressive on the throp.
It's aggressive
throp.
only if
They're
you want it to be.
thropping. That doesn't sound, very PG.
You want a throuple?
Nope, I don't.
I'm going to the fridge. All right,
Matt
Brian
Media.
Edwards is coming up next on 1620 The Zone. All right, time to talk to our good friend who'll have a vested interest in Florida Ole Miss this weekend. It is from MajorWager.com. I love that site. It is the senior handicapper for Vegas Insider, VegasInsider.com. Vegas B. Edwards on Twitter. It is Brian Edwards. Good Thursday morning. BE.
Good morning, gentlemen. What's happening?
Not much. Just noticed that the Baylor athletic director, Mac Rhodes, is taking a leave of absence for personal reasons. The chair of the CFP committee, who got into a little skirmish on the field 2 weeks ago. So there's some news that is just dropping.
And Dave Aranda on the hot seat in addition to the CFP chair.
Yeah, that's some interesting times. Thank God Scott Drew's off to a good start with basketball once again. All right, let's do some Fun Belt, and let's talk Troy Old Dominion. Troy, which has kind of faded a little bit. Pretty big underdog against this ODU unit.
Yeah, so I just think this number is too big. I mean, this is a small play, but I'm going Troy plus 10.5 at ODU. So Troy had a 5-game winning streak, both straight up and against the spread. But as you noted, a very, very disappointing 23-10 home loss to Arkansas State on November 1st. But they are still 3-1 straight up, 4-0 against the spread on the road. Their only their only outright defeat on the road was at Clemson, 27-16 in a game that they led 9-3 at halftime. And ODU got off to a blazing start, 4-1 both straight up in ATS. The only loss, a very respectable loss at Indiana, playing them about as tough as anybody outside of Oregon and Penn State. But not so much lately, and they've had a few injuries on defense, which might be part of it. But they're only 2-2 straight up, 1-3 ATS their last 4. Now, both of those losses were on the road, but they were by lopsided margins, 48-24 at Marshall, 63-27 at JMU, and then they come back at home and don't even threaten to cover in a 24-21 win over App State. So Troy is also I should note 4-1 against the spread with 3 outright wins as an underdog this year. So let's go with Troy as double-digit dog.
All right, let's the SEC. If you have YouTube TV, you're not going to be able to watch these games. You get Texas, Georgia in the prime time, and you get Oklahoma and Alabama in the daylight. This is the revenge game. Alabama got revenge on Vandy. Now they get Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa. Still trying to figure out John Mateer. He hasn't been great since he came back from that hand injury, but they found a spark in the running game. Alabama's had a gauntlet of a schedule. They're almost a touchdown favorite. What happens in Tuscaloosa, in your opinion?
Yeah, you're right. Mateer, since the surgery, only 2 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions, and his passing yard totals have been 202, 150, 223, and 159. Not exactly lighting it up. And this is a huge revenge spot for Alabama, as they got run out of Norman 24-3 last year as a 14-point road favorite, when W, along with the win in the Iron Bowl, would have locked up a CFP berth. Alabama is really struggling to run the ball, but they keep covering numbers. And now at home under Kalen DeBoer, 12-0 straight up, 10-2 ATS, 10 of those 12 wins by 11 or more, 9 by at least 14 points. And they've ripped off 8 wins in a row. Ty Simpson, 21-1 TD INT ratio. And Oklahoma's defense, which was, basically in the top 5 of every defensive category, the first half of the season. Now we look back and they were playing Michigan's offense, Auburn's offense, Kent State, etc. And now that they've gone up against 2 elite offenses, Ole Miss had 34 in Norman, despite settling for 4 field goals. And Tennessee had 28 first downs and 456 yards of offense. They just coughed up 3 turnovers. I mean, credit to Oklahoma on that part of it. But I like Alabama. It's my favorite pick of the week. Yep. If you want to get aggressive, I believe I said this last week as well, get it smaller plays on the first quarter and first half on the Tide as well.
Okay.
Virginia Tech, Florida State. Florida State, and we don't know what's going to happen with Mike Norvell. He had a passionate plea again about his program, but he's never signed a 5-star prospect out of high school in his 6 recruiting classes at Florida State. He's only had 1 class that's been ranked in the top 20. The clock is ticking, but they get Virginia Tech, who is getting 2 touchdowns. What happens in Tallahassee on Saturday?
And the 5-star, he had a commit from Travis Hunter tooled him out on signing day as well. FSU 2-12 straight up for their last 14 ACC games. Their last 9 games as a double-digit favorite against an FBS foe, because I'm discounting some double-digit spots against FCS teams. 2-7 ATS with 4 outright losses. Vatek, for a team with an interim coach ever since going into week 4, they are seemingly still playing hard, and they haven't had like tons of portal opt-outs, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 games ago they beat Cal in double OT, and then last game they were up 16-7 on Louisville with less than 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Now Louisville got hot at that point and ended up winning 28-16. But I still think the Hokies are decent. And I think that they'll cover plus 14 at FSU with everything that's going on in Tallahassee.
Brian, we have what I am dubbing the Lane Kiffin Desperation Bowl between Arkansas at LSU this week. Both teams, their seasons are essentially over. Both of them have fired their head coaches midway through the season. I don't think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to this game because the stakes aren't necessarily high, but you like the total.
I do. Let me backtrack 1 second. That felt really stupid when I said Vatek's fairly decent. They're fairly decent for ACC standards, and they can cover that number. I just sounded like a moron when I said that. I had to backtrack. All right, LSU and Arkansas. All right, the over is 7-2 overall for Arkansas, but this is their second lowest total of the year by just a half point. And look, both unders would have gone over this number. One of their unders was 34-31 at Tennessee for 65 combined. Another one was 59 combined because it was 52-7 against Alabama A&M, which is FCS, couldn't score. LSU now over is 2-1 for LSU in its last 3. Combined score of 55 at Vandy and 74 versus A&M. They obviously had a defensive struggle last week. Their offense has been extremely disappointing, but I think Arkansas's defense is just what the doctor ordered to get LSU's offense right. And back to Arkansas again, their games have averaged combined scores of 68.7 points per game. And I'm not going to bore you with all the Arkansas defense stats, but they are atrocious, and their offensive stats are very good. They're 8th in the nation in total offense, 18th rushing yards, 26th passing yards, and 22nd in scoring. Let's go over. If the number's 56.5, I would buy the half point to 56, the multiple of 7, key number on a total. But if it's 57, all good. Don't worry about it.
It seems like Jacksonville, regardless of who the head coach is, does this almost every single year where they go ahead, they have a big start. You think Trevor Lawrence is breaking through. They win a big game. They beat Kansas City. And then as the season kind of goes on, they fade off big time. They're coming off of a bad loss to Houston. And then they take on the Chargers this week, who the Justin Herbert truthers, they came out of the closet, after he had 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville is at home, but they're a 3-point underdog against the Chargers.
2 teams going in opposite directions. The Chargers and the Chargers have the advantage at the quarterback position and in the head coaching department. And the Bolts have won 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. And 2 of those 3 wins in a row have been lopsided, 37-10 over Minnesota and 25-10 over Pittsburgh. Like you noted, nice start for the Jags, but it's a distant memory now. They've lost 3 of their last 4, 0-3-1 against the spread in those 4, and an absolutely gutting loss at Houston last week, losing a 29-10 lead with less than 13 minutes remaining. 7 offensive starters for the Jags are questionable. Now, I know we're early in the week. Maybe all those guys play, but not a good sign. And 4 of the 5 starters on the O-line are a part of those guys that are questionable. Travis Hunter's already out. Brian Thomas was limited at practice yesterday and missed last week's game. And, I like the Chargers minus the 3.
Hey, the UT Martin Skyhawks men's basketball team is 3-0 with wins over UNLV and Bradley. Ohio Valley stand up. What do you got for me, BE?
Yeah, so the game at UNLV, 17-point dog. Bradley, 15.5-point dog. And we can get them at FSU, I'm guessing, as a double-digit dog next week. So this UT Martin coach, he went to the under-18 Serbia championship, like, over FIBA or whatever, overseas. He signed 12 guys from 10 different countries. Basically, it's an entire roster
Nice.
is international players with skills, and it's showing on the court. They won comfortably at Bradley. Cash plus 930 money line tickets last night. And look, FSU's improved, played the Gators tough. So that's why I'm thinking the odds makers might not be quite caught up to it yet. And hopefully we'll be able to get a big number at FSU next week.
All right, real quick, BE, do you think Jameis Winston has another big game with his first start with the new team?
So I've seen his passing yards prop at I don't have it pulled up. I think it was like in the low 230s. So we go back to his last time as a starter. He had 334, 235, 395, 219, and 497 in his starts with Cleveland last year. Now then the last two, 212 and 146. So he wasn't over on all of them. But look at how about his interceptions? 3, 2, and 3, and then I had another 3 interception game. Now I haven't seen an over/under on interceptions. I've seen a yes to throw an interception minus 215. I hate that price, but I'd love to get it. Or actually, hold on. FanDuel has 2+ interceptions plus 172. I think Winston throws for a lot of yards and throws 2 picks. So let's go 2 picks plus 172.
All right, great stuff. Have a great weekend. Busy card. Enjoy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
See you,
That's
Brian.
Brian Edwards. We'll talk to you all tomorrow on a Football Friday fiesta on a bye week. On a good weekend for football. By the way, Iowa gets to go to USC and play in the Coliseum.
Fun. That'll be great.
The weather.
Oh, no.
We got it here.
Rain.
What are they getting now?
Nice.
Rain.
I will be ready, baby.
64 and rain at the Coliseum for the noon kickoff there.
It'll be warmer here on
Feels
Saturday.
like home.
All right, crossover's coming up next. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6.